Oh, what a day. I'm getting my hashtags done real quick. Welcome in, Samantha. I ain't seen you in a while, girl. Hope you're doing well. All right. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good. I want to see how it looks. This is why it's a good idea to have 5 different computers, okay? This is why, as a streamer, you have to have 5 different computers. The webcam's gonna be crappy, man. It's just gonna be how it is, dude. The webcam's not gonna be as good as the webcam on my MacBook. Just is what it is, man. Make sure you guys run up the likes right away. What was I gonna do? I can't remember. But yeah. Oh, dude. I guess that's why it's a good idea to have 5 different computers, you know? So if one fails, you can go on your fourth one, right? I just can't believe that. Oh my lord. I'm gonna have to check it out tonight and see why it's not working and get it fixed. But yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Should I move up my webcam a tish? Is everything good, guys? I don't really care about the tip goal today when it comes to it showing on the computer. I just want to make sure you guys can see everything good. All right, so we're gonna hide the screen capture quick so I can get where I want to go here. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe both of my computers weren't working. And you know, I'm so mad about my freaking AI camera not working either. Like, God, dude, you know? Like, God, what? Like, fuck. I, that's why, like, I just need to e-bag and e-bag and e-bag and e-bag so I can get new stuff. So instead of donating on here, which is fine, you can donate on here. That's 100% okay. But instead of donating on here, if you really want me to get it right away and you want to help me upgrade the studio real quick, like, go to. I'm gonna actually pin the comment.
All right, you guys.
I'm just getting this ready. Oh my God, and I'm so not used to how this works either now because I'm used to using my MacBook. Oh my Lord. Brightness, saturation, hue. I don't even I don't even know what to do with that one. Make myself purple. Cancel. Let's just cancel that, okay? I'd rather not. Let's just not do that. Okay. Let's just make everything. Like, what a day, dude. You know? What a day. So, what the fuck is that noise? So if you guys want to donate big amounts, that's where you should donate in the pinned comment because YouTube does take a brutal 30%, and I understand that because that's their platform. But to upgrade the studio and stuff like that, it's way much easier to donate through there because then I get most of everything, and then um I don't, I still have to pay taxes after I get paid from YouTube, which I'm contemplating. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm just getting this stuff written down real quick. I'm so sorry. All right, we should be good. Everybody who's coming in here, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. Double tap that screen. Put a one in the chat if everything seems to be going good on stream so far. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We are under 300 away from hitting 10K. We are so close to hitting that goal. I can smell it. I appreciate everybody for being in here and joining right after the technical difficulties. I don't know why my computers weren't working with Streamlabs. Must just be a problem with something. I don't know. I even tried re-downloading it, but hey, we're on this one. It is what it is. And yeah, so we're running it up, man. It is what it is. I appreciate everybody being in here. God bless you guys for being the and the best chat in the world, no matter who wants to come in here and hate like that Justin loser or whatever else. I really don't care. But hey, at least I can finally have a sip of my damn coffee, right? So now I'm like all over the place on what our topics were, but one of my topics obviously was like covering the Candace Owens situation because apparently she exposes an Erika Kirk audio that I really want to hear. So we're gonna go over that, and yeah, what the fuck is that noise? I would really like to know. No? All right, so we're in here, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Skippy? But anyway, let's get into this real quick, bro. Fuck it.
Happy Tuesday. I survived
Let me know if the audio is good and everything else too, guys.
the ice storm. I'm sorry that we were down yesterday. We had no internet, but we are going to make up for it.
Sure, everything's good, bro.
Tuesday,
So it sounds like that is doing good. Let's go down to my mic levels are a little bit low. Let's go to here. Is that better? Can you guys hear my sexiness? Okay, awesome. He crashes out and swears all stream. He's in jail for the 11th time. I mean, I'd party with her, right? Just to watch her crash out at the end. All right, yeah, that's definitely. All right, let's double tap that screen, get the likes up right away, y'all. Show some love and support. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000. We're under 300 away from 10K. Make sure if you want to really support me, make sure you guys become a member. Tier 1 is a See Me Now Soldier. Tier 2 is a See Me Now General. Join the See Me Now Army. I do have a 10 super chat goal of any color, so that means $1 and above. 10 super chats, $1 and above. Help me reach my goal. God bless you guys. And not only that, but go to the pinned comment, www.ko-fi.com. YouTube does take a brutal 30%. And if in order for me to upgrade the studio, or anything else, because they do take that 30%, but I also have to pay 30% in taxes. So what the money am I left over with? Anyway, if you want to send a good amount of money, send it through Ko-Fi. That's where you can send the money through and know that I get most of it. So I appreciate every single person that comes in here and shows love and support. God bless you guys. Double tap that screen. And yeah, it's a winter weather advisory here, Chief. And she's rough outside. So all those protesters in Minnesota, good luck. I'm done fucking covering you guys for a while since you continue to falsely mass report me and try and get me and try and basically destroy my livelihood when you guys know that this I'm chasing my dreams and trying to get this done. So it is what it is.
It with a show this Friday. Anyway, what do I have for you today? You guys already know that many people are upset with me. And by many people, I mean the mainstream media and all of their cronies. They're upset for a lot of reasons. Foremost, because I mentioned the idea that Charlie's life may.
Bro, like I'm so mad right now. Like I want to relapse. Like I'm so mad right now. Like I want to relapse. No, I'm just
Have been the Truman Show. How dare I? Well, it's about to get a little more weird when I tell you something else that we have learned about the origins of the X-Men school that he went to in his youth. I probably should have named the thumbnail X-Men Origins. Missed opportunity. Also, we have, and they are Eric.
shut the fuck up and get past your fucking intro.
YouTube.com
I'm not in the
today.
mood for that bullshit.
Okay. So last week, I said to you guys that in the near future.
Welcome to the Discord server, by the way, Tanya. Welcome in, welcome in. I appreciate everybody that joins the Discord server and does join the family that way. Um, like I said, thank you for joining the family on YouTube and helping me grow so much on YouTube. But you guys also can go ahead and join the Discord community and come vibe with your boy on there. So yeah, I don't know why my monthly goal is showing down there when it's not even like right. Like this can just go away. Okay. Just get that the fuck out of here. Like I'm so mad right now, guys. Like welcome in Stacy. I'm so mad right now, guys, that I could like that whoever you're talking about on you know I mean I could smoke, yeah, but then it'd be rough for the stream. But I mean I just right now I feel like I mean, dude, that girl you're talking about that gets in trouble every stream, I'd rather just do some blow with her or something.
Sure, we are going to do
I'm just kidding. I'm literally just kidding.
a maybe.
I'm just mad, dude. I literally had to go through three. This is my third computer I've tried to get this stream to work on. This is why you, as a streamer, you have to own like 5 fucking computers because you know if you're gonna have to go through 4 of them to get one to work.
2 episodes, could be a 3-part series on Erika Kirk's past. A few people online were very upset about that. Instantly. Oh, how dare you? How could you look into.
So today I am going to e-bag the most. So send me your money, but send it through the Ko-Fi link in the fucking pinned comment. God bless everybody. I love you guys. You know what I do need? I need a fucking cigarette. That's what I need. I love you.
To anything involving Erika Kirk. Let me explain to you guys what's happening here. You're probably wondering what it is that we are doing. So I'm old. I'm 36 years old.
Candace, you're 36, but you're still fucking fine, dude. Dude, Candace, I would still bro. I'm 26. Ain't not that big of an age gap. I'd lift you up to my face. Pause.
Back in my day, there used to be this thing known as journalism, basic journalism. It existed. I know it seems very far off, but it would be considered, probably back in my day, literal insanity to allow someone to take over the reins of an organization that quite literally relies on the goodwill of the public, 'cause it's a charitable organization, which happened to have raised over $250 million following the assassination of its founder. And then apparently nobody's interested in doing a basic profile piece on the new chairman and CEO that took over. Like that's actually, that makes no sense. And so that's what we are committing ourselves to. We are doing a couple of episodes to separate fact from fiction when it comes to the background of Erika Kirk, because the public deserves to know. And like I said, it's basic journalism. This entire idea that, well, Charlie wanted this, that just would fly probably actually nowhere in the world, not even in the old world, not even under monarchy rule in the 11th century. In England, would that work? You can't just say, oh, well, that was his missus, that was his queen consort, and hand her a kingdom. Even under that model, it would be Charlie's son that would inherit Turning Point USA. So stop doing that. Stop saying that. Doesn't make any sense. The public is not biting. I am not biting. And to be clear, the more time that goes on, the more that we are seeing the general direction that this company is taking under her stewardship, the less we're liking. The general public doesn't like it. I don't like it. And especially the recent bout of paranoia where we had a bunch of employees who
Oh my God, there was a fruit and slip by Pumpkin. Oh my God, dude. Stacy licked you, Pumpkin? Yo, Pumpkin, you're gonna get me demonetized in the chat by talking like that. You know that, right? You're gonna have to chill out. And I know I've been noticing things, Stacy, or I mean Pumpkin, in the chat. Okay, I've been in the Discord seeing what's going on, and you and Skippy are gonna have to have a reunion.
actually worked 20-hour days. That fact, by the way, you are about to hear Erika confirm herself. Those employees were then fired without even being given a clear reason as to why. Just, gotta go, going in a different direction. That doesn't exactly match what we were told.
More like, you gotta go because we feel like you're gonna snitch. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Discord. Everybody that's new to the channel, make sure you double tap that screen. It looks like we're hitting the algorithm good today. Maybe it was just my fucking MacBook that wanted to act like a complete douchebag that made it so I wasn't in the algorithm. Or maybe it's because I'm finally not covering Minnesota and the stupid. Oh, never mind. Uh, but yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys double tap that screen. Let's try and hit 100 likes within the first hour. That's something we always like to try to do. We have what, 42 more minutes left. So everybody just double tap your screen. If the double tap doesn't work, hit the three dots above my head on the right and hit the like button that way. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're so close. I can smell it and even maybe lick it, you know? So help me reach my first major goal by hitting 10,000 subscribers and hitting the subscribe button with the notification bell so you can be in every single fucking stream that I do because I love talking to all your beautiful faces, even if you're trolls. But get those likes up, show some love and support, and join the Discord. Skippy, copy and paste the Discord link in the chat. Have these people come in and join, show some love and support. God bless everybody. And welcome in, Melanie.
As the public, we were told that they're a family. How dare anybody question anybody ever in the family? Followed immediately, almost seemingly in the new year, by get out. We're just moving in a different direction. Knock, knock, we're at your door. You fired, and you better hand me your computer or else. We just want to know what happened here. Anyway, being a 501c3 company, being a charity, becoming a charitable organization makes you, of course, accountable to the public. Always, they are allowed to ask questions, even if you want to send out a bunch of C.
That's why you do what your boy did and you get an LL. Dude, it's actually looking pretty good on the computer. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It actually looks really good on the PC, or I mean on the phone. I got a pretty good setup going right now on the phone, y'all. I hope you guys are appreciating the hard work because streaming is hard work. I literally just had to go through 3 different damn laptops. My 2 MacBooks were going to shit. I got on here and I actually got the setup looking pretty good today. So God bless you guys. God bless. Hope everybody's having a good day. Thank you for showing love and support. Keep double tapping that screen, like I said. We have 40 minutes left before the first hour of the stream ends. Double tap your screen to get the likes up. If you If that doesn't work, hit the 3 dots above my head, hit the like button that way. Let's try and hit 100 likes within the first hour, and, hit the subscribe button so we can get to 10K. Sorry, I'll shut up.
and desist letters. And thanks to this recent string of misguided firings, that's putting it mildly, we did happen to get our hands on an audio recording of a corporate wide Zoom call, which took place pretty immediately following Charlie's memorial. So, for clarity, this call took place on Monday, September 22nd. So, this is 11 days, less than 2 weeks after her husband was publicly assassinated in front of the entire world. It's important to remember that. It's also less than 48 hours, about 48 hours after his private Catholic funeral mass, which like, the public was not privy to. But top paying donors were. That's also odd. We'll save that for another day. I just think that you should know that. I want to plug that into our master timeline, which I know I keep promising you I'm going to publish. I will. So we know on September 10th, Charlie is assassinated. This is the bottom of the timeline. On the 18th, this, by the way, strikes me as odd in the retrospect as I was working on these couple of episodes about Erika. On the 18th, there's 8 days after the assassination, she gave an in-person interview with
Double
the New
tap
York
that screen, y'all.
Times at her and Charlie's condo. Okay.
What?
Now, regarding the New York Times profile piece, I was totally in a cloud of grief by myself when all of that went down. Okay, you remember I had to go away to Wyoming just to breathe, to process, to get closer to accepting that it was real. I went away for 2 weeks. I didn't really catch the fact that it was an in-person meeting until later. 8 days after his public assassination, she sits down for a piece with the publication that hated Charlie.
Oh, shit. Thank you to Tristan Jones. See that Ko-Fi bot's working too? God damn, man. Thank you to Tristan Jones for the donation, brother. God bless. I appreciate you. It doesn't show me how much it was. Holy shit. Yo, Tristan, thank you for the $40 dono, dude. God bless you. See, and see when you guys do oh my god, I can't talk. I am going to cry. Thank you so much, Tristan. Um, again, when you guys do donate through Ko-Fi, it only takes like 5%. Oh shit, what the fuck was that noise? There's a lot of new stuff going on. I have no idea about. It's awesome. Ko-Fi bot's working though and actually notifying us. Thank you so much, Tristan, for the $40 dono. Like I said, when you guys donate that through YouTube, they take 30%, and obviously it's their platform. I get it. But then I also have to pay taxes through that, right? So I don't really get much. But um when you donate through Ko-Fi, when people donate $5, I get $4.11. So whatever that fucking, you know, hands out to be percentage wise. So thank you so much for the big $40 dono, brother. God bless you. And I'm gonna write your name down on the wall right fucking now.
The entire time he was alive, New York Times was constantly writing hit pieces about Charlie Kirk or pieces that
Wherever
just
my
were not
marker is.
kind or favorable to Charlie Kirk. So it's an interesting decision. And reading the article or rereading, because somebody said you should actually go back and revisit everything that transpired in the days after, and you kind of have new eyes, and that's very true. But in reading that article in retrospect, something that I am particularly struck by is the fact that she describes suddenly being forced.
All right, okay, so I'm gonna rewind this a little bit because I got a big dono and I had to write the name down on the wall. So thank you so much, Tristan, for the $40 dono, bro. And I'm very glad that the bot is working actually for Ko-Fi. So that's awesome. So if you guys want to donate to me on Ko-Fi instead of on YouTube and make sure I get the full amount, also go straight to my card. So if you want to help me go to the dispensary, no, I'm just kidding. Click the Ko-Fi link and donate through there. But thank you for the big dono, Tristan. I really do appreciate it, brother, man. $40, that's awesome. I really wasn't expecting that. Thank you so much, bro. Much love to you, homie, and I will have a better day. It's just you guys can see I work hard to bring you guys like a good stream because you see how mad I get when shit don't work. Like I literally two of my computers worth $1,000 each aren't working for Streamlabs. So I literally had to go grab a whole nother computer that I use for video editing and other things and use this computer, which is fine because actually the setup today is looking really nice and the stream setup today is looking really nice. So I'm not mad about it. Blessing in disguise, right? Thank you so much, Tristan. God bless.
That transpired in the days after, and you kind of have
By the way, this is the last thing I'll say, and then I'll shut up. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, man. We just need 86 more people to like. No, 75 more beautiful people to double tap that at 100 likes within the first hour. God bless. I love you guys so much. Goodbye.
new eyes, and that's very true. But in reading that article in retrospect, something that I am particularly struck by is the fact that she describes suddenly being forced into the single mother position as the quote unquote least traumatizing thing. Becoming a single mother suddenly, 8 days later, she describes that as the least traumatizing thing. Again, that's an exact quotation. I'll read it. You could see it. They're going into this. They're speaking about Trump's energy and his tone toward her on phone calls. And it reads, quote from her, "The president's tone," she said, "was soft and embracing. I could tell he wanted to hug me." Others have responded in the same manner to Ms. Kirk, now left to care for a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son. That new life, Ms. Kirk said, quote, "is actually the least traumatizing thing for me, since she herself has been raised by her mother after their parents divorced when she was young." And we're just supposed to pretend that that's completely normal or whatever. I would figure maybe the least traumatizing bit would be something more mundane, maybe along the lines, if this was a thing, if Charlie constantly filled up her gas tank and someone was like, "Well, who's going to fill up your gas tank?" She might reply, "That's actually the least traumatizing thing. I don't even care about that. That's just me filling up my car." That would be like the least traumatizing.
Welcome. I live in Sheldon, LMAO. Welcome in, Anna. Anyone that's new here, welcome in, guys. I see we're in algorithm today. It's gonna be a good day, man. We're gonna run it up. I appreciate everybody for being here. Grab your snacks, grab your coffee, grab your breakfast, whatever you need. Come chill, come vibe, double tap that screen. We just need 70 more beautiful people to double tap that screen, be at 100 likes within the first hour, which these liberals from Minnesota have been trying to stop from happening the past week. That's why I'm not covering Minnesota anymore. I'm done. They can let their own fire burn. I'm done unless it comes to Skippy or anybody else I love there like my family. Then I will you guys spot at my table. All the other people who are just smash reporting me for no reason, you're losers. I love everybody in here, though. Anyone that's new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If everyone in here right now just hit the subscribe button, we would be so close to 10,000 subscribers. I could just touch it, like I could smell it. I could just foaming at the mouth, lick it. You understand? We are so close. I can't believe we're almost at 10K. So help out, support your boy. I do have a 10 super chat go up of 10 or 10 super chats any color. But if you really want to support me and have less money taken out of it, go to the Ko-Fi link that is in the chat.
Thing. Becoming a single mother after your husband is horrifically assassinated, realizing that your children are going to grow up without a father who toured the world and spoke about the importance of fatherhood and relayed the statistics pertaining to the youth that grow up
Come in, Jonathan.
Without their fathers in the home. I would describe that as very traumatizing. I think across the board, that's a traumatizing thing, not the least traumatizing thing by any stretch of an imagination. Anyway, we are now in season 7, episode 4 of Everybody Grieves Differently, but that's weird. Now, getting to this corporate call again, can we just go back if you want?
By the way, Tristan, announce yourself in the chat so I know what your username looks like. Your name is on the wall. You're the second name to be on the wall under the clock since we filled up this whole wall behind.
To throw in that schedule again. Sorry, yeah, okay, great. So we have this on the 10th, he's assassinated. On the 18th, it's that in-person interview with the New York Times. On the 20th,
Is that sound everybody who is subscribing? Am I missing subs? What is going on here? Thank you to for the subscription. I don't know what that fucking sound is, but it's honestly starting to piss me off, because I want to be able to thank people for subscriptions and stuff. Oh, Chief. Okay. Much love to you, Chief. Thank you so much. Again, like I said, when you guys want to donate big amounts like that, do it through Ko-Fi because not only does YouTube take a 30%, which I agree, okay, yeah, it's their platform, cool, but I also have to pay taxes out of it. So when you send it through Ko-fi, they only take like literally 5% or less, and it goes straight to my PayPal. So if you want to help me not be mad and get some good bud, send me some money. No, I'm kidding. I said today I was gonna e-bag. I swear to God.
20th, we have the funeral mass, which is held at a church at 11 a.m. On the 21st is the public memorial event that is held at State Farm Stadium. And on the 22nd, which I had not mentioned before, I've been building this timeline in the background, there's a private dinner. Not going to mention what restaurant it's at, but the McCoys are there, Elizabeth, Mikey, Erika, and they're in joyous spirits, is exactly what the email said of someone who was there. They were in joyous spirits. Okay, just want to get that. I think a lot of this, when you hear this call that I'm about to play for you, I'm not trying to color your opinion, but I am going to give you mine because it's my podcast. I'm allowed to do it. I do want to remind you that Charlie has not been dead for 2 weeks. That's where you have to go back to. Not even 2 weeks after Charlie was publicly assassinated. Not a normal, he didn't, we had to watch this. We had to visually watch this. Now, the entirety of this call, which we're not going to play, is 15 minutes long. I'm going to figure out how to just drop it on my X feed. But I want to make sure that we properly and fairly contextualize it. So we're not being choosy. We're not cutting this for drama. The obvious point of this call to set this up is to introduce Erika. She's the new leader. Not even introducing, she's just heading up this call, but obviously she's going to be at the helm of this. So they're getting to know her. And she does begin the call by being thankful to the entire Turning Point USA team for their work at the memorial event. So let's take a listen.
Hi, everybody. I still love all these emoji Zoom things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like it's just.
Oh my God, dude. We're not even like 5 seconds into this fucking audio, and it's making me sick. I need to replay this a little. Like, wow. Wow. The event of a century. Not even 2 weeks after her husband just got publicly assassinated. She's over here. She's over here laughing and giddy about whatever event. Like, oh my, we just need to listen to this. This is what?
Zoom things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people.
Which you geofenced with your mom's geofencing firm. Every single person that was at that event got geofenced, whether they liked it or not. So all their information got taken and put into a system. So she's giddy about that too, guys. And that's not alleged. That is fact.
Attended, and the stadium, overflow, Westgate, insane, you guys. And then you have, was it 100 million?
Over.
You guys that heard the gospel and all about Charlie and all about everything that you guys do and the hard work of Turning Point USA is insane. We had thousands that were registered to vote.
What the fuck was that noise? Bro, why is this computer making random noises at me? What's going on? What just happened? Oh, it's subscribed. Thank you, Crystal, for the subscription. We might have to change. Is that what that noise is? Man, we might have to change that noise because I thought Crystal was coming to kill my ass with the way that noise hit. When that noise hit, I thought Crystal was coming to kill me, boy. Damn. Damn. Sorry. Thank you for the subscription, Crystal. God bless. We're on the road to 10K. Hit the subscribe button. Double tap the screen. I need to change that notification sound. God damn.
I think We're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me.
Oh my God, dude. All she cares about is merch sales. All she cares about is merch sales and how many people attended. That's crazy. Don't like it, then leave. Thank you, Space Cowgirl. I appreciate you, girl. I appreciate it. I try very hard to bring good content. If you were here earlier, you know that I just went through 3 different computers to get on this stream, so I try hard. Thank you very much.
On that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But I just wanted to say a huge, huge, huge thank you to the events team, the development team, the graphic design team, the production team. It's just phenomenal. Their incredible work of leading into the memorial. And honestly, a lot of the staff that worked on the memorial, they had 20-hour days for a week during the time of us grieving the loss of my husband. And honestly, I know several staff that didn't even sleep. Again, you guys are breathing angels, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And obviously, a huge thank you to the Mosaic team. VI, you guys are 10 out of 10. Like, we have.
Oh my.
The most incredible team. We just do. And you guys know that, and you guys are all a part of that. And I am so, so,
Thank you to yeah, that sound is just too much. Thank you to America Mary for the subscription. God bless you. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the family.
so thankful. And if you
We also, guys, we have 24 minutes left. Can we get 59 more beautiful people? Can we get 59 more beautiful people to just double tap so we can hit 100 likes within the first hour of the stream, guys? The people that are against me have been just trying to just, you seen a comment earlier that said that they were going to report my channel. They just falsely report my channel. I don't know what their problem is with me. Um, ever since I said I supported ICE or something, I mean, they just been trying to take me down. So we're actually having a good stream today. So thank you guys so much for the support and the love. So just double tap that screen. If that doesn't work, hit the 3 dots above my head on the right and hit the like button. Let's try and hit 100 likes before this 23 minutes is over. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. We're on the road to 10,000 subs, man. So crazy how we're almost to 10K. I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. And I see the likes going up. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to the pyrotechnics crew, right? I know, Chandler. It's just, you know, and I was just gonna say, you know, some of the stuff she's saying wouldn't seem so bad, like thanking the people for helping, organize things in the moment of grieving. But it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And oh my God, all she cared was about merch sales. She said, what was it? She said a second ago, we made 1 million or something, like we made over 200,000 for merch sales, over something $1 million. Like, yeah. Thank you, Stevie, for the subscription. God bless you. Yeah, let's finish this. But yeah, I mean, this is just sickening, dude.
you do have a moment and you run into
Thank you for the dono, bro. Good comment.
any of those staff members that you know had a role in this, and that they put a lot of their time and effort into it, just say thank you. There's something really special to be seen in moments like this, and it's not easy. I'm speaking from experience. I'm right in the trenches with you guys. And so the fact that you just, a simple thank you, I don't care.
Thank you for that, Reggie, because dude, I'm telling you, I was wondering because usually we do, like, you see the views we're doing right now. Usually we're in between this amount of views or like 500 every single stream. We do phenomenal. But ever since I started covering Minnesota and saying my opinions, it's like people are mass reporting me. My views were at the lowest they've ever been. I was at like 10, anywhere from 10 to 30 views the whole stream. But then I say I'm done covering Minnesota. You guys can have it. And now look, we're back up. So it is what it is, man. I appreciate everybody though that does show love and does come in here and who is genuine and does subscribe. Welcome to the See Me Now family, man. You won't regret it. They need to see us now. At the end of the day, us people who are patriots are being ignored and pushed to the sidelines, and they need to see us now. So join the See Me Now family, become a member, become a See Me Now soldier, become a See Me Now general. Or the most important thing is just liking and subscribing, man. We're on the road to 10K subs. We're over halfway to 100. We're over halfway to 100 likes within the first hour. So just keep running it up. I appreciate every single person in here. If you feel like I deserve your blessing and you want to go further, you can either super chat or go to ko-fi.com in the pinned comments, because YouTube does take a brutal amount. So, but the money means nothing to me. It's just a blessing. Your subscription and your likes is all that matters to me. Thank you so much.
If any of you have beef with each other from the past or have any issues with someone said something about this or that, like if you guys have any of that, please put it to rest. My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead. And it puts life into perspective of how short life is and relationships, and God puts people in your life for a reason, and it teaches you a lesson, it teaches them a lesson. So if you are going through a time where, just lay it to rest, and we are moving forward, Turning Point USA 2.0 with Charlie in our hearts, and that's what he would want.
What? Turning Point USA 2.0. What?
Okay, so I'm just looking at the chat here, and you guys are responding live in the way that I felt live listening to this. It is the general tone that is off-putting.
Okay, dude, I'm sorry, but I appreciate who just subscribed. Welcome to the family, but we need to change like that sound. The wild rift of G&D. Thank you for the subscription. Don't know why. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Like what? Like what? How do I get? Like how do I stop that from being so fucking loud? Right? I don't want to not know if you subscribed. I don't know. It is what it is. Let's just get to the video. That shit really breaks my eardrums.
It's the laughter that is off-putting. It's, again, we are not even 2 weeks after watching your husband be assassinated. We're talking about numbers and metrics that have been hit. And my husband's dead, not to be morbid. That is a sentence that and this was not my husband, and I had no sort of the type of relationship that she had with him, that I was able to utter. Least of all, I mean, that's moving pretty quickly to the acceptance phase. Now, we know everybody grieves differently. In my imagination, I just thought she would be more upset. And I want to be clear, the overall mood of this call is extraordinarily upbeat. It's extraordinarily happy. But of course, as the CEO and chairman, she does have to address the elephant in the room, the morbid elephant in the room, if you will, because it's an obligation. You have a new CEO, the employee.
I'm sorry to Donald Hatfield for the I accidentally blocked you from the chat because your name looked like the other loser. So my bad, brother. I undid it.
Employees are working 20-hour days, but also their founder, Charlie, was publicly assassinated less than 2 weeks ago. You got to address that. And you're going to hear her address that by recapping to them that.
Guys, we have 17 more minutes left. Double tap that screen. Double tap that screen. Let's hit 100 likes within the first hour. We got 17 minutes left, y'all. 17 minutes left. Thank you to Koopa for the subscription. God bless you. Welcome to the See Me Now family.
Throughout these long working days, the employees were provided with ample resources while they were working. Take a listen.
I'm just grateful that while things were still in motion and moving around, that we had our leadership teams provide for you counselors, pastors. I heard there were therapy dogs. Slightly jealous that I didn't get to have any moment with a therapy dog. Breakfast. I was really adamant about making sure that we paid for your flights for your spouses to be there. That was something on my heart. you don't want to grieve alone. No one's supposed to grieve alone. It's not healthy.
Shout out
But
Wichita.
I just think it's a beautiful honor that all of these benefits were made for the community to grieve and remember Charlie. And I really hope you took advantage of those in a healthy way when they were provided, because it's meant to.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean, but my mods need to do better in the chat. Like that white guy who's saying all that stuff. Like we need to moderate the chat a bit because I'm tired of these losers coming in here and just talking hella crap. I can't wait to figure out how to make it so they can't see my channel completely once I ban them. But you guys always do good. I'm not trying to be mean or nothing. I'm just saying watch out for those people because yeah, I'm tired of it already. So, but welcome in Bill from Wichita. Welcome to the See Me Now family. God bless everybody.
Be for everyone for healing. Grief comes in waves. Some days are going to be tougher than others, but take it as it comes, and that's why you have your Turning Point family, and just lean on them and lean on other people in your life that will help you and pour into you and pray with you to get you through it. I say that though, that if you do need more time to grieve, please continue to use Turning Point USA's network of counselors. We have pastors. I mean, there are so many resources for you. If you do need additional time off, please talk to your director about using paid time off for that. And again, it's not easy, but
You know what she sounds like to me? Like, I don't know if any of you guys have been in school and like something has happened that's a tragedy, right? But like, she sounds to me as if she's like talking about someone that she doesn't know, but like was close to the, organization that just passed away and that, hey guys, use these resources if you still need to grieve or you need to learn how to grieve. We have a bunch of resources for you. Like it just I don't know, this just seems weird to me. It seems like, at school and they tell you if you can't handle it or you're grieving still or this is affecting you, go find a counselor or something, you know? Like that's the kind of vibes it's giving me.
again, grief is hard. Otherwise, honestly, Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action, full steam ahead, you guys. We have Charlie would want us to get back to work, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we did with the memorial. And I'm so honored and proud of each and every one of you, because that's what we're gonna.
That memorial was like just a disgrace, dude. Like a whole disgrace. Like completely. Like yeah. I fucking looked like a Super Bowl halftime show, you know? Just a disgrace. No one had any respect to wear any candid colors or whatever you say, you know? And she only cares about the fact that now she's CEO and it's full steam ahead, y'all.
Do in his honor and in his name. We have so much to do, which is exciting.
Oh my God. Again, guys, this is 2 months, or I mean, not even 2 weeks after Charlie's passing. And she's talking about how exciting this is. And right here, it's about to say Charlie in heaven is like, you guys thought you had a busy schedule.
Charlie in heaven is like, you guys thought you had a busy schedule, then just you wait. And he's doing some.
See, oh, Charlie would have told you this, or this is what Charlie is thinking, and I'm his wife. So, I know what he's thinking right now, and he wants you to get back to work. He wants you to find a grief counselor if you need to, but we got more work to do, guys, and that's what Charlie would want. And I'm his wife, and I know that. So let's get back to work. That's what it sounded like.
Awesome things with Jesus in heaven right now, but there's so much work to be done. I mean, since his assassination, we have 100,000 chapter requests. We have 300,000 new donors.
Mind you, I was one of those chapter requesters until I figured out how corrupt everything was.
That is a blessing in itself. again, not normal. All God. I think we have 50,000 plus hat orders to fulfill. I mean, I'm saying
I still haven't got my fucking hat. I'm suing you, Erika. False advertisement.
these numbers because it puts into perspective that we're not just sitting and thinking and looking at the wall being like, what do we do? Like that, there is so much to do. You have over 20,000 AmFest registrations.
There's a lot happening there, and none of it is what I would be expecting to happen there. So basically, what the employees said to me was that they got onto this call and everyone's exhausted, everyone's been working, and they pull off this massive memorial. And then there's kind of this approach where it's like, well, if you guys need paid time off, like Charlie's in heaven dancing, wanting you to work harder. He's just up there like, you better work, but you can use the paid time off that you have earned, by the way, if you need to grieve more. But imagine you're the employee, you're like, okay, well, this is his wife saying this. So am I weird? Would I be like, I would be pretty weird if I needed to take time off and his wife is saying she's full steam ahead. That's the mentality that they had. Like, how
That is fucked. Dude, you're right, Chief. I did get that. I threw it away though. But remember on that last game I showed you, it's a We Are Charlie bracelet they sent. They didn't even send hats. I was supposed to get a number 47 hat, and they sent me a We Are Charlie bracelet in the mail. And then it and then it asked me for more money. So, yeah. Not a good taste in my mouth. And Candace is exactly right what she's saying here.
how are we supposed, like, are we weird for wanting to grieve? Is that not the vibe? How can we take pay time off when Erika, his wife, is saying full steam ahead? It's very strange. It is even kind of using this idea of Charlie being in heaven, looking down, and the laughter. I don't know. I feel like the rest of you. I feel uncomfortable. And of course, now what we're going to listen to is her pivot to the future vision, because that's what the bulk of this is about. And it's going to consist of the notebooks that I keep telling you the public is never going to see. Apparently, what I gather from this is that Charlie presented to the staff a vision for 2025, but Erika is going to say that there was a vision beyond that, all the way to 2030, and there's a project 2030. And then she's going to kind of want to say that she's happy, but then catch herself realizing that that would be kind of weird to say that she's happy. Take a listen.
The prophetic mind of my husband was that he always planned for the future. You guys are obviously aware of like Vision 2025, but Charlie was also working on Vision 2030 in the weeks leading up to September 10th. And he was working really closely with Justin. And that's why Justin had been appointed the role of COO, because he.
All right, guys, how much? We just need 35 more beautiful people to double tap that screen. We'll be at 100 likes within the first hour, guys.
He was literally, I remember phone calls when Charlie and I would take our night walks, and it would be 10 o'clock at night, and him and Justin would just be talking about the plans. I was aware of the plans. I have his journals that are aware of the plans. Like, there is no confusion of what's to come. And I want to give you guys that reassurance that it's full steam ahead. And the board and I are working with Justin and the executive leadership teams to make sure that all of those plans come into effect 2030 and beyond. But I, again, am so grateful for all of you. I'm so proud of all of you. You honor my husband so well. All of you do. And
The question is, Erika, do you honor your husband so well? Do you honor him? Are you honoring? Did you wash your hands after you touched the back of JD Vance's head? Did you pray to Charlie and tell him you're sorry? Are you honoring Erika? Is the main question.
It's weird to say I'm excited. I really hesitate saying that. It's really hard for me to say that. It's a really weird thing to say, but I think it comes from a space of peace, knowing that God's using this and we're humbly witnessing the gospel in real time.
What the fuck is she saying? Like, we sold 200,000 merch, guys. I think we're watching the gospel happening in real time. Jesus Christ. I gotta go fill my coffee. I'll be right back, y'all. This is just wild. I didn't know it was gonna be this bad. I thought it was just gonna be a little, like, I don't know, a little recording, but this is fucking bad.
I don't know what to say. She doesn't want to say she's happy. I don't want to say I'm happy, but where it comes from, I'm going to explain the happiness that I feel. It comes from peace, because we're witnessing the gospel in real time. All of that, all of this makes my skin crawl. It genuinely makes my skin crawl. I'm going to go ahead and say that. You can go find your commentator who's going to tell you everybody grieves differently. Nope, that is less than 2 weeks after Charlie was publicly assassinated. That doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel right.
You know, and one thing I think though is that, after she met with Erika, we were all kind of thinking like, God, is Candace gonna keep going the direction she was going and like, like keep pursuing very viciously, or is she gonna kind of tone it down a bit? And it's nice to see that, this kind of reassures us that she's not toning shit down and that she's gonna continue to run it up.
To, I would say, the majority of people, or that doesn't feel right. Knowing that they're joyous at dinners. And again, this is when people who did not know Charlie could not stop crying and were sending me emails, who've never met Charlie, who didn't even know what Turning Point USA was, because they watched his assassination, could not stop crying and pull themselves together. That is not the emotion that we're getting there. Like I said, the entire call is upbeat, and the portions where we are even speaking about grief, it feels like an obligation. Like, hey, you got the dogs, and what Charlie wants is for you to work now. And that is how the employees that I've spoken to who were on that call, that's how they felt. My assumption, by the way, why I'm addressing this now is because my assumption, watching everything that's gone on, my assumption was that she really was trying to figure things out. I assumed in the silence, right? She wasn't doing interviews then. I assumed she couldn't get out of bed. I assumed that she couldn't pick her head up. And I felt that people were being unfair in judging outfits and judging, whether or not they liked how her hair was done. I said, okay, she's speaking at we expect her to speak at the memorial event. I felt the public was being unfair. Now that we're kind of getting more on the inside of the organization, the now fired employees are telling me, no, it was quite the opposite. She was in the office every day with Stacey Sheridan, running around with Stacey Sheridan, taking phone calls with Stacey Sheridan. That's like the head of the fundraising for Turning Point USA. So what I had imagined in my head was happening simply was not so. Something is
Yeah, the moment that I seen the memorial and the way that everything was going down, it clicked in my head like, yeah, okay, up. I knew something was up right when I seen the video because I remember I'll never forget when I went on live that day and Reginald came on and he said, "Bro, Charlie got shot." And I went on Twitter and seen the video and I was just shook.
not
And then just watching everybody's reaction and then watching Ben Shapiro say, "We're gonna take it from here," and to all you other people who are trying to stop us, fuck you, all this other stuff, like all the fakeness, right? And it's just starting to be exposed more and more and more. It is very sad because I honestly believe that Charlie was a
right.
oops. I honestly do believe that Charlie was an honest believer of what he preached, of the gospel, of, wanting to change things politically, wanting to change things in the world, like for a positive. And, that's why he went around the world to speak. And I just feel like everyone around him seen the good in his heart, seen he had motion, wanted to attach themselves to him, then got ulterior motives. Then those ulterior motives ended up making it so Charlie ended up passing away. Oh, he didn't want to take that money from Israel? I'll do it. If Erika Kirk is and her family is tied so well to Israel like they are, like Erika Kirk's mom, the geofencing committee, Erika Kirk's dad, the Iron Dome, all this stuff. They all work for, like with Raytheon, like just all these connections. It's not too far fetched to say that, and Erika Kirk even admitted she was at the meeting in the Hamptons where Netanyahu called. It's not too far fetched to say that if Charlie said no, maybe when Charlie was sleeping or something like that, Erica got the call and Netanyahu said, "Hey, it's time for the big leagues. Are you ready?" And she did it. This is alleged. None of this is fact. But this is just what I'm thinking, you know? I mean, when you go through a timeline and you go through Erika Kirk's past to everything going on now and everything that's been admitted from Erika Kirk, it seems pretty plausible that that could be how it happened. Because they're taking that money now, aren't they?
Right. That's what I would like to say. That call, the timing, the energy of that call does not feel right to me.
I'll let you guys know that everybody grieves differently. I agree. When I was 9 years old when I lost my father, my mom worked shifts from like 9 to like almost 10 o'clock at night, and I would come home from school and either have a babysitter or have no babysitter. But I had to grow up quick because of it. But my mom wasn't giddy. My mom actually threw herself into work so she didn't have to think about it, and I just threw myself into fucking, I don't know, whatever I could as a kid, But like to hear what she just said on that audio is just insane to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Thank you guys for all the likes within the first hour. I appreciate y'all. We're now past the first hour of the stream. Keep double tapping that screen. We just need 25 more likes. Continue to hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subs, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you hit the notification bell so I can see you in every single stream and join the Discord. If you guys want to support your boy, I do have a 10 super chat goal up. I have one super chat out of 10, any color, 10 super chats of any color. Help me reach my goal. If you are going to donate a lot, make sure you go to the Ko-Fi link pinned in the comments so YouTube doesn't take a lot of it.
This I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but I think we are inching closer to figuring out what's going on. That's for sure. And we will have more for you in the coming weeks. It also led me to another stunning.
I think one thing that is messing up with Turning Point now with them firing people, like they don't know what they don't know what those people have seen. And if they're just letting people go, oh my God, all of them are going to run the Candace, all of them.
Discovery that we have made in large part thanks to internet sleuths. There was a lot of media panicking when we discussed Project Looking Glass.
I see you, Grim.
We discussed the fact that Charlie was indeed a gifted child who went to a literal children's school for the gifted. I told you guys also that street lights used to go out when he ran. There's a whole term for that. Apparently, a lot of people go through that. We saw that in the comment section. Now, what does it all mean? On my episode, I posited that the military was keeping its eye on quote unquote gate children, gifted children, different by different names, but terming it more broadly, children that go through the gate program. That Charlie's life may have therefore been a literal Truman Show once they realized that he was extraordinarily gifted. So,
And that's what's crazy too, is because our government and everything, like from the time we're born, we sign everything away with the signature, to our social security cards and everything like that. And it's just so crazy to think that they could like see how how you take tests in school, you go to certain schools, like she said. It is so insane to think that they would basically rate like have you be raised up by your family. They would not know, but they don't know you're paying attention to them, but you are. You're watching this kid be raised up. You're literally giving him like like it's just so crazy to think how in depth everything can be when it comes down to, oh, Charlie was a gifted kid, so that means the government was watching him, and then they get like that he was just, it's like, oh my, it's so much to understand, but it's just so crazy how complex it can be, and what our military and what our government does. When you think about MK Ultra, when you think about, it goes deeper than that. Like it's just so crazy to think that that stuff happens within our country, you know? And to think that, his life was the real Truman Show. Like they really did watch him and raise him up, and he built this big company, and it got too big for his own good, and he ended up being taken out. So someone that could uh run it the way they want it to be run can be put in place, like it's fucking crazy.
let me remind you that when Charlie was having these visions about his death back in 2018, he specifically told me that he knew from the moment that he began Turning Point USA that he was going to die young. I'm going to re-show you this text message again so you can see it. Literally, he writes, since the beginning of Turning Point USA, I knew in my gut that I might get wiped out at any time. I cannot explain it, but I dream about it all the time, like all the time. Not really afraid of it, but I'm just telling you what I know to be true. I'm not sure I'm going to live, begins with, I'm not sure I'm going to live to see the end of this revolution. But interesting that he says, since the beginning of Turning Point USA, we should probably therefore go back to the founding story of Turning Point USA. The story the public knows, and the story that I was told, is that Charlie was this teenager, didn't get into West Point. Anyway, he's speaking at a conference where a man named Bill Montgomery happened to be in attendance. He has since passed. I met Bill Montgomery. He's very kind to me. And my point in bringing this up is not to throw any shade on him, but because I'm now interested in this origin story. Anyways, he's in attendance. He's absolutely floored at Benedictine University when Charlie speaks. He immediately knew that he was sort of looking at a future president. This is an article, I think it was done in The Atlantic back in, it doesn't matter what year. Anyways, it reads in The Atlantic, Montgomery was at Benedictine University in western Chicago suburb of Lisle, Illinois, for the college's Youth Government Day in May of 2012. The slate of speakers put the kids to sleep, he told the National Journal. But when Kirk took the floor, the energy in the room completely changed. The kids weren't sleeping anymore, and their attention was wrapped on Kirk.
See now, okay, so this is where where people that really believe in the Bible are going to get on me, which is fine because I believe some of the Bible is true, whatever. But this is where energy comes in and the universe comes in. There are people in this world that have a attraction to them, like that. A million people can walk in a room, but there's a couple people that can walk in that room that everybody will look at, and there's an energy that comes from them that they're good. Like there's just they have energy to them. And that's the universe. And that's the universe picking you to have this role in whatever it is that you figure out throughout your life, and you end up figuring out, and whatever. But it's a big energy thing. And the it's not, I can completely believe that out of all the students that walked on the stage the moment Charlie did, with how well spoken he was and how everything was going on, that he just lit up the room, and you know what I mean? Like there are people that have energies to them that attract people, that make people open up, that make people trust, that, you know what I mean? Um, that's why I believe in the universe over anything. People can tell me about Jesus and all that, and I agree, and it's cool, but I believe in the universe and the laws of the universe over everything. And the laws of the universe tend to prove out to be more truthful than anything else. And I I've been told I have that energy. Do I believe it? I don't know, but he certainly did have that energy. You see the crowds that he was pulling, especially the one at UVU. I mean, holy shit. When do you see someone go speak at a college like that under a tent and pull in thousands of kids? You know? He definitely had that attraction.
Inspired, Montgomery went up to him after his speech and told him, as only a man 50 years senior can say, that he needed to delay college to pursue a higher calling. Quote, "I don't know you," Montgomery recalled saying, "but you need to start an organization to reach out to young people with your message." A month after Montgomery met Kirk, the duo launched Turning Point USA. I want you to hold on to that phrase, "I don't know you, but." Again, that's the same story that I was told. So I was a bit surprised to learn that there may be a larger story here. Now, Bill Montgomery.
That's why there's moments where you can like say you meet somebody and you talk to them and it's like you knew them for your whole life. Like you could talk to them and there's that trust factor and you connect, it's very real.
Was Air Force. He's in the Air Force Reserves. Bill Montgomery also happened to be from Lincoln, Nebraska. Getting into that one of those Egyptian plane stops. A lot of these people are tied
Okay,
to
bro,
Lincoln,
you're out of
Nebraska.
here. Tom, you're out of here for spamming, bro. Like seriously, quit fucking spamming, dog. 21 more double taps, we'll be at 100 likes. Thank you guys so much for the love today, man. We're running it up. Actually makes me feel good because I've been kind of down in the dumps the past few days because of how these people have been trying to take me down.
That are in this story. Saving that for another day. Now, not much is known about what specifically Bill Montgomery did during his time in the military, but we do know that he moved to the Chicago area thereafter, which obviously in the area where Charlie's X-Men school was. The X-Men school, I just like to call it that, was actually called Creative Children's Academy. It opened in 1982 for the academically gifted, from preschool up into the 8th grade. In 1999, it changed its name officially to Quest Academy. It tells us on its website, or I'm sorry, in a past article.
Oh, and that's what I mean, though. I see people spam me in my chat or saying stuff, but where are my mods? Like, where are my moderators at? I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but the more we and like the more subscribers we get, like the more people that come in here that are idiots and that want to be keyboard warriors. I need my moderators to be in here and take. I can't always pay attention to the chat, I try, but I need my moderators to ban them if they're getting too crazy. So God bless you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Anyone that's new to the channel, welcome to the See Me Now family. That's not usually how it is in this chat. Usually it's a positive, awesome community. I like to say I have the best community on YouTube because I am trying to build the best community on YouTube. I don't want a stupid, fucking toxic community. I want a good community, and we do. All my moderators are awesome. Everybody on this channel is awesome that's subscribed. So if you want to be in a good community and you want to have a good sense of community, join the family by hitting subscribe. We're on the road to 10,000 subs. Double tap that screen, show some love and support. And also, you can go ahead and join the Discord community as well. Skippy can put that in the chat. If Skippy's not in here, then I can put it in the chat. But if you want to get further into the community, you can also go into the Discord and stuff like that. So, much love. It's no problem, Pumpkin. It's no problem, Stacy. No problem. My bad. And I'm not trying to sound mean. It's just been a frustrating day, and so don't think that I'm taking it out on you or being mean. I just see these people say some of these things and they spam and spam and spam, and then I have to delete them, and then it's just this whole thing. Then I see people thanking me, and then it's taking me away from reacting to this. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. But much love to everybody. Thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry if I'm not trying to be an asshole, Stacy. You know I love you. You know I love you, Pumpkin, Skippy, everybody. There's the Discord server. So if you want to join the Discord, go hit the Discord link right there, and yeah, show some love and support, y'all. I do have a 10 super chat goal up of any color, so if you want to help me reach my goal of 10 super chats of any color, super chat through there. But if you are going to super chat a good amount, make sure you go to the link, the Ko-Fi link in the pinned comment, so YouTube doesn't take all your money. Love you guys. Thank you for being here, and my bad. And no, it was a healthy dialogue up until this guy just spammed. Like once people start spamming, like I'll let them say like a message 2 or 3 times. But the moment you start just spamming, like yeah, you're getting out of here.
That it receives corporate and private funding from who we don't
Let alone, ever since I started covering the Minnesota situation, I have had bots and people or whatever come in here and like literally false report me, spam, and just spew complete hate. So usually I'm not like this, and I apologize. So I'm sorry again, Pumpkin and Stacy and Skippy, everybody, all my mods. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I'll shut up.
know. What I would like to know what corporations funded that academy. What we do know is that it's a stone's throw from Northrop Grumman, the massive aerospace and defense company that has extensive federal contracts dating back to World War II. Just put that fact in the back of your mind. It may mean nothing at all, but I just want to say that because it came up when I was researching the general area in Palatine, Illinois. Now, the Children's Creative Academy, I should tell you, was founded by a woman named Helene Bartz. Okay, her husband is a Reverend Robert Bartz of Arlington Heights. Helene Bartz. Now, a tip that I received and I was able to confirm is that Helene Bartz was actually good friends with Bill Montgomery and his wife, Edith Montgomery, Edith Walker Montgomery. She actually goes by her last name, Edith Walker. The person claims that Edith Walker, who I've since learned emigrated from Germany after World War II, and I can't really find much else about her, became and this is correct, an adolescent psychiatric nurse. So she was a psychiatric nurse to the youth. And that she was actually the person that started the school with Helene Bartz. And that has since virtually been wiped from public record. But that's what you're missing, is that these people all knew each other. The person claims that Bill and his wife and
That's the thing, Anna. Like, if I'm hitting a nerve with you, then scroll past my damn feed. Like, no one's forcing you to watch my channel. If you don't like my take on something, that like going the extra mile to false report, to do whatever, just shows your character, and it's so ugly. And I'm tired. Like no one's forcing you to watch my stuff. So get the fuck off my channel if you don't enjoy it.
a certain Robert Flood, who is in Dan Flood.
I'm all about having a healthy debate. I'm all for debate. I feel like debate's a good and healthy thing. And there's a lot of people I disagree with a lot of things. There's a lot of things there's a lot of people on my channel and subscribers I disagree with a lot of things on, but we're still friends and we still can have good discourse because we're mature.
Flood's family, this is what they claim, and I have since found this person, said that they knew each other since before the school even got started. They were all working for this evangelical company, evangelical sales force known as the Shackley Corporation. It's still in existence today. I'm going to give you a bit of information. The Shackley Corporation was the first company that ever created a multivitamin in America. It grew to be a massive, basically a middle-level management corporation, which, like I said, commanded this evangelical sales force. Shackley was basically described as like a religious fervor that was sweeping the nation for nutrition. It was started by a man who
I know you were Anna. That's why I said what I said. I know. Well, you must misunderstood me.
preached the gospel of nutrition,
God,
buy
I
our
was hot. I
products,
was
but
cold. Now
also the
I'm hot.
gospel
Damn it.
is what this is really about. And it grew to be a massive company that engaged in a 25-year contract with NASA. You're like, what? Yeah, for supplements that they could take to space. Now, it sounds to me like some good old-fashioned government money laundering, but sure, if you are like Skylar and believe in the moon landing, sure, maybe you need some vitamins up there. Now, working off of this tip, I was indeed, like I said, able to confirm that Helene Bartz, so again, to give you these names, Helene Bartz started the school, and I confirmed that she did indeed, prior to, worked at Shackley. She actually ran the Shackley Center in Arlington Heights. I'm having a lot of trouble, and the reason why I'm putting this out there is I'm having trouble learning more about Bill and Edith. Where did Bill serve in the military? Why specifically did he move to Chicago? Where in Germany is Edith Walker from? Who was her first husband? Because Walker was clearly not her first name when she moved here. Where exactly was she a psychiatric adolescent nurse? Again, using her full name, Edith Marie Walker, in Arlington Heights, where Charlie grew up. Did she see Charlie? Is that a plausibility? I would say yes. And I know that Charlie told me the story that they wanted to drug him when he was a kid. But his mom said, no, my kid's a genius. And instead, because his mother refused, they instead put him into this special school. Again, this is investigation, maybe it leads nowhere, but this is sure as hell interesting enough for me to put it out there. Mostly because the idea that everything we know about Turning Point's origin story could also be incorrect is equal parts terrifying and fascinating. It would give new meaning to the idea of his life being the Truman Show. I think that's fair to state that. If you have any more information, please message us. Send us an email at moretips@CandaceOwens.com. Maybe your research will be better than mine, but I am particularly interested in Edith Walker Montgomery, and where she came from in Germany and who her family was all very fascinating and interesting time in America indeed. Anyway, we'll take a brief break here before we come back and give you an update on the internet sleuths after I gave you that message, which sure read like a threat from a Christian Zionist. All right, you guys, Nimi Skincare is why I rarely, if ever, switch my skincare routine around. There's a lot of pressure, especially at the start of a new year, to constantly change things. New habits, new products, new routines, and that pressure shows up everywhere, including skincare. But in my experience, the things that actually work long-term are the things that you stay consistent with, not the things that you are constantly replacing. That is how I think about skincare. I don't bounce from brand to brand or chase what's new just because it's trending. Need 20
Fuck up on. No one gives a fuck about me. Skincare. Well,
logical
maybe I do.
operation that tells us every /Owens to make the switch to Pure Talk. Okay, let me connect some dots for you here. I see somebody in the chat. First off, you guys are freaking out about listening to that call. It makes everybody uncomfortable. That is normal. And now we are going to have to deal with the next psychological operation that tells us that it's wrong that we listened to the call. Goodbye. We don't care. Something's not right. We sense it's not right at Turning Point USA. And it feels like the people trying to get to the truth are being penalized. Okay. Now, I do want to say to you what is particularly I found to be interesting about this Bill Montgomery angle and this Shackley Corporation and their contract with NASA. And you've got to go way back. You got to go way back to my episode on the moon landing and why I don't believe the moon landing happened. Because Operation Paperclip, which somebody has called out in the chat already, Operation Paperclip was when we went over and we got these quote unquote scientist Nazis from Germany, and we brought him here.
Yeah, brought him over here to help us go to the moon and all this other stuff and figure stuff out and what they were studying. Blah, 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 blah. We know what the this is.
Here, and we're supposed to go, oh, that's all fine that the CIA did this because now we have.
Because not only did they bring them over here to help us go to the moon or whatever the fuck it was, they brought them over here to help basically drug our own citizens and see what the effects were of they're using overseas on our own citizens to control us or mind control or to have sleeper cells, like just a bunch of crazy shit.
We had the Apollo program. We went to the moon. But what if we didn't go to the moon? What actually did we bring these scientists over for? These are the questions that I ask myself because I don't believe we went to the moon. But I do believe we brought over these people and these families. And I think they were demented people and they were sick people. And we bury Project Monarch, which was the precursor to MK Ultra, Brigitte Macron's trigger.
Dude, anyone who believes that we went to the you-know-where in the sky is crazy. Just saying.
In the lawsuit. Don't bring up MK Ultra, the precursor being Project Monarch, where they were intentionally harming children, trying to sort of abuse people into compliance, mind control. So that's interesting. That is interesting. And now we are seeing a bunch of people, and I really do believe that these are the White Walkers in our society. Like these people are among us, that people are mind-controlled slaves, literally, which was the entire purpose of Project Monarch. If you follow my idea, the moon landing didn't happen, my fact. If you want to follow the facts, the moon landing didn't happen. And that would basically mean the CIA was bringing over perverts, like just bringing over a ton of perverts. And I'd like a list of their names. And
Guys, we're seeing 18 more beautiful people to double tap that screen. We'll be at 100 likes. Thank you so much for the love today, man. It's so overwhelming. I really appreciate you guys. And we're running it up on the too, man. I really do appreciate all you guys.
I'm very interested in how much NASA comes up in a lot of the stuff that I am researching. Now, this brings me to the most savage internet thing I've ever seen happen. Credit to @BraveReport. Some of these smaller accounts that just savage. I showed you guys this message. I said that Turning Point's not going to come out and tell you who wrote this message. this Zionist who is spelling, like you guys noted, God, putting a dash there. You guys are like, that's not how Christians would write this. It turns out that, well, Lori Cardoza Moore, the Brave Report pulled up as an evangelical Zionist who said that she then learned later on that she's Jewish, but she is still an evangelical. She's a maniac. I mean, there's no question she's a maniac. And virtually everything that was said in this text message was also a rant that Lori decided to do live on the internet pertaining to Tucker's totally sensible speech. Listen to Lori Cardoza Moore rant in her car.
Carlson, with his mocking voice and his mocking laughter, they were horrified by what they saw. I had 3 couples reach out to me who had been to the Turning Point USA conference, and this was in Tampa a couple weeks ago. They called me and said they were horrified by what they saw. Horrified. They saw Tucker Carlson get up and act like another crazy person, talking, condemning Israel, praising Qatar with his mocking voice and his mocking laughter. So Tucker, right after him comes Michelle Bachmann. Michelle has 5 minutes to make an argument for why we have to stand with Israel to these young people at the USA. When she starts talking in that conference about supporting Israel and why America should stand with Israel, the people in the audience start booing her. I spoke with her personally. She said 10% in the room got up and walked out on her. That is shameful. Then Charlie Kirk. This is his.
Dude, because no one gives a like. Oh my God, I'm gonna say this as nice as you can. I'm not gonna sit here and whatever. Like no one gives a fuck about supporting Israel no more, dude. And I'm sorry, like if you do, cool. But like, who sits there and says we stand with the USA? We stand with the USA. We want to help the USA with these problems. No, we want to help. Like no, like it's time we stand up for our fucking selves and especially our veterans. Our veterans, our people with mental health issues, like our own community. Like everybody wants to sit here in these streets, like in Minneapolis and all this other stuff, and cry about ICE and all this other stuff. But why is nobody crying about Lake and Riley? Why is nobody crying about the fact that people with mental health issues on the streets, like that one Ned's declassified guy, isn't getting the help that they need? Why is no one crying about the fact that we have so many people in a lot of the communities in the United States that need help that are not getting it, that are not being, there's no funding going to the proper places. No, we only care about Israel. We want to sit here, we want to sit here, we want to get on stage and talk about supporting a foreign nation and supporting foreign people, and but we won't even talk about our people. Just makes me fucking sick.
Event, he's responsible for what people are saying and doing. Does he get up and condemn Tucker or correct Tucker for what he said about Israel and how dangerous Qatar is to us? No.
How is Qatar dangerous to us when Qatar holds the biggest U.S. military base in the Middle East? What? Seriously. Like hearing these people talk is just so oh.
Did Charlie get up and defend Michelle Bachmann? Did he condemn the people that got up and walked out on her and that booed her? Did he say why we stand with Israel, we support Israel? No, he didn't.
No.
That tells us everything we need to know.
Yeah, Christian Zionism, man. Sell your stocks immediately on Christian. You gotta absolutely just sell, because this is going down. You just see, this is obviously, it's almost like they just hired a bunch of actors to pretend to be Christians. That's the vibe that you start to get when you realize this is the only thing they care about. This is all they care about. And they will rant and they will rave and they will scream at you.
I would respect our politicians, like whatever Israel has on them, whatever other countries have on them. I would much respect all of them if they just said, you know what? Fuck what you have on me. I'm going to be America first and I'm going to say no to you. And we're going to be America first. And you can release whatever you have on me. I don't care. And yeah, the people are going to hate me, but at least I'm going to be America first and I'm going to do what the people want. I would respect that a whole lot more.
And in case you are wondering why so many of them seem to have these extensive acting backgrounds, you can look no further than and Lori Cardoza more, because these internet sleuths aren't playing around. The DCIA, the Decentralized Intelligence Agency, is moving quicker, and they found that, yeah, that's what Lori's background is in, acting and for romance hotlines and things of the sort. So maybe she was just cast as a Christian. Take a look at this.
Are you over 30 and single? You can find love and romance right here on the telephone, on the Romance Hotline. Just call this number, and all you have to do is listen. You'll hear recorded messages from exciting singles over 30 looking for love and romance.
The Romance Hotline, 1-900-909-8000. $2 first minute, 45 cents additional minutes.
Why not call now? All you have to do is listen.
And she's not the only one, by the way, who was an actor. And this is a person that I'm quite interested in, which is her husband. She is married to a man named Stanley Clark Moore. He has an Air Force background, also went to go work for NASA, if his Wikipedia is to be believed, for a little bit. But little else is known about him other than the fact that he grew up on Air Force bases, that he graduated from high school in Texas, Humbly, Texas. Which Air Force bases? Who is his father? I got to know who everybody's daddy is. You guys know me. I got to know. If I don't know who your granddad is, I don't trust you. If you're in Texas in the 60s especially, I got to know who your granddad is. If your granddad was involved with the military, you got to tell me right now. Who's your granddad? I need to know who Stanley Clark's father was. So internet sleuths, get at it. Which Air Force base? Message us more tips at CandaceOwens.com. I feel like this is important somehow. And there's just a lot of military ties in all of this everywhere. I mean, even because we're kind of everywhere, someone messaged me and let me know that Turning Point is, shooting their Super Bowl commercial here in Tennessee, in Nashville. And they're working with this company where the CEO is from Lockheed Martin. It's just everywhere. It's military connections everywhere at all times. And I do kind of feel like the military cult has been in power since LBJ helped murder JFK, set him up, and then I think cleaned house and put in his guys in the military. That's how I feel. Anyways, not at the bottom, obviously, tons of brave American men and women who serve, but serve who? That's the question. Anyway, just wanted to very quickly comment, because people were pinging me on this, about Kanye taking out a full page in the Wall Street Journal to apologize.
Sorry to everybody who's in my Discord chat. I literally just went off. So God bless.
Kanye's apology. Also sat down with Vanity Fair, or answered questions for Vanity Fair about this apology, whether or not he means it. He speaks about his bipolar episode, said that he is on new meds, that 2025 or 2024 was a tough year for him, and that this is not a PR move, that he is sorry to the people that he hurt. I just want to just broadly say this, because this comes up all the time. There's always this, Candace, God, Ye. I love Ye. He's like a brother to me. I am never going to turn my back on Ye. I'm here for the Ye of all seasons. He and I agree on many things, disagree on many things at all times. If he wants to apologize to people that he specifically has hurt, he is welcome to do that. And of course, for people that are now trying to construe this and attach and put Candace, this has nothing to do with my viewpoints whatsoever on Israel, people who mass murder children. So I support Ye in everything that he does, and if I don't support him in anything, I will speak to him directly. So I just wanted to state that, because people were asking me, what do you think about this? It's Ye. Ye is always doing something, whatever he wants to do. And the reason why he and I get on so well is because Ye's got to be Ye and Candace has got to be Candace. It's just how it works. Anyway, we'll take a brief break, and then I will get to some of your messages as I see the chat lighting up with that, regarding that call that we just played, that Zoom call. All right, you guys, there is a war on truth right now. Independence, which she's orchestrating a lot behind the scenes and keeping her hands clean. I think that became very obvious to me in that moment. And then going backward and finding.
All right, so one thing I also wanted today that I found to be interesting was I wanted to see what the Baron Coleman stream. Don't really care about this one. I kind of want to see what this was like. Didn't watch it yet.
All right, you guys, welcome back. I'm actually very.
But to anyone who's been in the Candace sphere, and anyone who's been investigating or listening to investigations on Charlie, everyone knows that, Baron Coleman has been a big thing recently. He's blown up. He's well past 100,000 subs now because of his investigating. And it was a very highly anticipated for Candace Owens and Baron Coleman to get on a stream together. And I did not watch it, and I wanted to save it for a stream. So we're gonna watch it right now. I'm gonna put it on 1.25 playback speed, and we're gonna see if anything's interesting in it. I don't know, the past few streams after this, I've just been getting tired of listening to Candace talk about this. It's like unless there's something really damning, then I'll listen to it. But other than that, yeah.
Very excited today. I know you guys are. You were freaking out in the chat. I told you that I was going to be joined by Baron Coleman, none other than Baron Coleman here in studio. Guys, just get ready. It's an exceptional amount of rabbit holes that we have to jump through today. I told you as yesterday that we received a tip, and it just made my mind go poof. So much happening here, so many connections. Baron, you have done fantastic work digging into Charlie Kirk's assassination. You would think the feds would do that, but apparently it's not their job.
No, we've had to decentralize the investigation a little bit.
Right, and I think they're nervous.
That not only are they nervous, I think they're terrified.
Right, and I argue of the opinion that this is going to be resolved one day.
Not to the satisfaction of a lot of people, but I think to a certain extent, yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, well, let's just start with just some news. You heard the same thing that I heard. Turning Point USA did a massive purge of employees a few days ago, or at the end of, I guess, last week, you could say. What did you hear about that purge?
I heard there were 30 to 40 people purged, that they were looking for the leak. They knew there are leaks out of TPUSA. They are terrified of these leaks because of what TPUSA has been up to. And rather than try to be an honest organization, it's just let's get rid of all the people we think might be disclosing that we're a dishonest organization.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I heard specifically a story, and it made me chuckle because it's like the most Andrew Colvett thing ever, because he's obviously the brains of the operation. And so apparently, I don't know what the context was of why they brought this girl into an office, or what, if they were planning on firing her. But the point is like they made her bring her laptop up, and Andrew saw in her laptop that she had screenshots the timeline from my show. And it was apparently mass panic. They didn't know why she had screenshot this, and they thought that therefore she was the leak. Why would someone leak me my own timeline? I don't know why someone would do that. I'm like, Andrew, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would someone leak me what I created? This was from public information of where Charlie was, and the Egyptian planes. Who knows? She must have been a Candace, but apparently other people at the office are watching the show live. They panicked and they fired every single person that she was friends with, who she knows, and she was not the person that was leaking to me.
So the leak is still there. I know that for a fact. There are leaks still there.
It's a leaky ship, and they're just going to fire everybody. Never taking in more money, but they're going to have. Who are they going to replace? People. It's just going to become APAC.
Well,
I think it's going to become APAC.
This is a point I made to somebody recently. I said, if you can fire 40 people from your organization, you had too many people on the payroll. You were just blowing money, and that is a bigger indictment of the problem at TPUSA than the fact that they felt like they had to fire 40 people.
Right.
To me, if you can get rid of 40 people in an organization of only 600 or 700, if you can fire 40 and keep the lights on the next day, you've got a problem with how you're managing your organization. Might need a Doge effort.
Might need a Doge effort. Hey, careful. Last YouTuber that said that got a cease and desist letter.
That's right.
Which we're not going to sue you, but we are going to get some lawyers to send you a cease and desist, which is the first step to suing you for defamation. Just a terrible mistake. You really wonder what is going on there. Who do you think is actually calling the shots?
I think Erika ultimately is calling the shots, but I think she's being advised horrifically. If I had to guess, this is my opinion, Tyler Boyer and Andrew Colvett. Potentially there are some other people. I think I've heard you mention another name that you're pretty suspicious of. But I would say Tyler and Andrew are leaning in her ear and helping her to make horrifically terrible decisions.
Right. I would be surprised if Tyler was the one advising on the legal stuff. He is smarter, right? He's corrupt, but he's smart.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be so, I don't think he would be so dumb as to be advising some of the things that they're doing. Like, I mean, going after, what do you have to gain from going after this YouTuber? What do you have to actually gain from the cease and desist other than people then realizing that you lied about the drones? Again, I don't know how many different stories you can get about these drones. And finally, a lawyer's like, okay, there were drones, but they were for the media only and not for his security team.
I wonder if they were really drones. I mean, I genuinely question that story to the point where I don't even know if their lawyer has the right question, the right answer as to whether or not they were drones. It seems that screwed up. I don't even know if they know whether they were drones.
Well, speaking of drones, I think that Fort Huachuca panicked them. Of course, when I shared the Mitch Snow thing, I knew nothing about Fort Huachuca. I knew nothing about the military, E4s, O5s, O6s. I'm sorry, I wasn't playing Battleship. Whatever it is that guys are into, I was not into when I was young. And Erika's been very open about the fact that her mother DOD contracts. And once you start looking into what her mother did, obviously Erika is very familiar with Fort Huachuca. Then we sort of learn that everybody in this movie that never premiered or it never was released is related to Fort Huachuca and the Sierra Vista area. And you just go, okay, what's this panic about? Then we learn, and I forgot to mention yesterday that Dan Flood's father ran intel at Fort Huachuca. So they're all familiar with this base. And I want to say we received a solid tip yesterday that Dan Flood, not only has he not been fired, he's been promoted at Turning Point USA.
Now, that is absolutely stunning. If that's true, that's absolutely stunning.
I will say allegedly. The person said they are positively certain that that is a circumstance. I had never heard that Dan Flood got fired. I don't know what they're doing with Dan Flood. I don't know what he's doing in New Braunfels, but I do know that he is a very protected person and not innocent in this by any stretch of an imagination. I don't believe that Dan Flood is innocent in this in any stretch of imagination.
In my opinion, he's not innocent. I mean, look, you had a protectee of yours tell you within a few days that someone was probably going to kill him, and then he died. You obviously failed. And in my opinion, 100% opinion, but that is prime evidence that you failed at your job.
What's interesting is that my Turning Point insider told me that before Charlie died, there was some sort of back forth between him and Dan Flood where he was going to demote Dan Flood. Okay. Now Dan Flood is there, Charlie gets killed, and the new CEO that assumes the role does not fire the person immediately or at the very least demote him. We know that because he was protecting her at the White House when they did the Charlie Kirk Day, which is like, you know, the Fed has to do that. If they kill you, they have to give you a day. It's like some rule in some handbook that we can't see. And so you're telling me not only does she not move to clean house with the security team, but she also promotes Dan Flood? What's that about?
I don't know. And I think if I remember those photos correctly, wasn't Brian Harpole also in that frame at the White House or in Washington, D.C. when she was there?
I can't recall.
I think I'd have to go back and look at that photo. I think he was. It's, again, this is all opinion. Everything I say is opinion. I think it's evidence that there's more than meets the eye to what happened in Orem, Utah on September 10th.
I think in general, we are all now at the point where we realize there's just more than meets the eye with Erika, full stop. And there's been some life lived. I think that's putting it mildly. There's been some life lived, and I'm uncomfortable with the amount of inconsistencies that have presented themselves in her story. The connections with so much sex trafficking. I've even got something that I'm going to reveal tomorrow about her parents having worked with somebody that was accused, something to do with children. It's just it's a bit too much. But you and I received another tip, and I called you and I was like, you should probably come in studio for this because this is sending me down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Someone sends us an email. I'll let you tee this one up. Someone sends us an email. We're gonna show it, but you go ahead.
Well, what happens? You know, if you look at the president's Twitter account, the Pope's Twitter account, what happens is when you get a title, you get control of the social media during your reign. So
at POTUS. Yeah,
at POTUS, at Pontifex. Apparently, Miss Arizona USA has the same thing. That the Miss Arizona USA, whoever's the reigning Miss Arizona USA, gets control of that account. And they don't delete those tweets. And so they're still there 10, 12, 15 years later. You can go back to Erika Kirk's reign as Miss Arizona USA and read her social media, including interesting tidbits about mass shootings.
Yes. So back in 2012, you guys may or may not recall, but we will now that I say it, there was this mass shooting that happened in a movie theater where a guy, we were told, the public were told, kind of similar to the Charlie Kirk assassination. Some guy walks in tactical gear, but this was like, he was like throwing smoke grenades. I mean, looks in retrospect pretty military. And then they pull out this guy and they're like, hey, this movie was coming out. Here he is, it's this guy. He did the whole thing. Well, at that time when Erika was, it was her year as Miss Arizona, somebody just randomly tweeted at her and were like, why haven't you made a statement about this horrific shooting? And Erika replies, and this is what she said. We can show this. And now it says, just so you guys are clear, it says Candace Knable because she now runs that feed, as he was explaining. But this was Erika tweeting this back at that person. What Erika says, one of my best friends was in the theater. So although my acknowledgement hasn't been blasted via social media, it's been more on a personal level. So Erika has a personal attachment via her friend who was in this theater at the time of.
Sorry, guys. Was just sending sending a message. Ooh, 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 mad. Sorry. Anyways, guys, anyone that's new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subs, man. We're so close. I can taste it. It's crazy that we're about to be hitting our first big milestone of 10,000 subs. So make sure you hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. I want to see you guys in every single live stream I do, so you can join the See Me Now family. Make sure you guys double tap that screen. If double tapping doesn't work, hit the 3 dots above my head on the right and hit the like button. And yeah, help me get to 100 likes. I just need 15 more likes. And also, if you guys want to go farther than liking and subscribing, make sure you become a member. Tier 1, See Me Now Soldier. Tier 2, See Me Now General. I do have a 10 super chat goal up of 10 super chats of any color that has an hour and 20 minutes left. And yeah, I don't know. If you're going to donate a lot, go to the pinned comment, www.ko-fi.com/See Me Now. Love you guys.
Another shooting. And I'm uncomfortable, and I'm going to tell you why I'm uncomfortable, because I had already sort of built out the satellite of coincidences, tragic coincidences of people affiliated, namely Rob McCoy, how you can start to draw out this like satellite of shootings that have happened or events that have happened, and like, you know, oh, the borderline bar and grill shooting that took place in California. Rob McCoy's the pastor, Thousand Oaks, you know, pastor. He's intimately involved with the victims of the shooting. It's the people that are at the borderline bar and grill are there because they were all at the Las Vegas shooting. Kind of looks like military target, but we're told another story. Then Rob McCoy happens to be in Nashville, and oh, there's another shooting, same story. You know, this trans person, Aubrey Hale, just went crazy and decided to shoot up an elementary school. And I'm starting to wonder, and I'm looking at this stuff and I'm going, is there something that we're missing here with all of these mass shootings, this false dialectic between left and right? It was a trans person. Oh, it was a diehard MAGA that did this. And we're all shouting at each other. Are we missing maybe something else? And so I'm starting to revisit these. And I said to you, what if there are just targets and the military is just going in and killing people and then blaming it on some tranny, like at all times, a transgendered person or right hard, diehard MAGA guy just strapped up his guns and did something. And we are also at each other's throats that we're missing something broader. So we sort of re-examined this, this shooting, and some interesting stuff came up.
Yeah, one of the victims was at a mass shooting a few weeks before the mass shooting where she died. And that immediately sent off alarm bells in my head. You immediately start looking. You said, hey, did you know she had been in Toronto? Well, what are you talking about in Toronto? Well, she was at a mass shooting in Toronto. What got me was, and this was a mall shooting, for those that don't remember, it's back in 2012. A lone gunman, a crazy guy, walks in and just starts shooting up a mall. I think he fired 8 or 9 shots,
Into
killed a few
food
people.
court.
Yeah, food court. And Jessica Gowie, Ghawi, there's.
Sorry, guys. That was just my lawyer. Sorry, guys. That was just my lawyer who messaged me. Sorry, guys. That was just my lawyer who messaged. All right. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm trying to pay attention.
She is right there. Jessica Gowie.
R.I.P. to this woman.
Was in that food court. She paid her bill at like, I don't remember, $6.20 or something like that. And 3 minutes later, the shooting started. But in those 3 minutes, she said she had a really weird feeling in her stomach, decided she didn't want to be around, and she walked out. And I thought, that's weird. She has this premonition that something bad's going to happen. Then a mall gets shot up. And then a few weeks later, she dies in a mass shooting. It's a very weird set of circumstances. And that's just the beginning of the weirdness.
and she was shot 6 times.
Yes.
So this theater, we're supposed to, we're told this guy just went crazy or whatever. This girl got shot 6 times, 12 victims in total, including an unborn child. And Jessica is unique in that not only is she shot 6 times, but the person next to her was it an ex-boyfriend?
It's hard to tell if it was an ex-boyfriend. She used to live in New Braunfels, Texas, of all places.
Bam, that's another thing. And I'm like, what goes on in New Braunfels, Texas? That Jessica Gowie also lived there.
She was in New Braunfels, Texas. She goes to visit her boyfriend in Toronto. So I'm assuming this guy that she died with was not a boyfriend, but she died with a guy. Mm-hmm. And he had flown in from New Braunfels, Texas to see her, to go to this movie in Aurora, Colorado. It's a really weird set
he
of
survived the shooting.
He did. He was shot in the rear end, I think.
Right. And strangely, he describes like he knew she was dead and she had brain splatter. And yet then we hear that rather than leaving her where she is, 2 police officers go into the theater and they pull her into a police car and personally say that they take her to a hospital. I don't know, just something about this Jessica Gowie twice bad luck of being at a shooting. And then also, of course, this location, Aurora, Colorado, which is where the shooting took place, being so close to Columbine. It's just 20 miles away from Columbine. And both of these locations are, this is, in Aurora, Colorado, there actually is an Air Force base. It's now a Space Force base, but it used to be an Air Force base back when Columbine happened and when the Aurora shooting happened, I think through 2021. I did take some notes on that, so I just want to get that right. It was the Buckley Air Force Base from the year 2000 to 2021. So there's a military presence here. And I'm starting to notice this common thread of military people that are just like in that theater alone. There were a ton of military guys that were victims of the shooting. And there's one other thing aside from New Braunfels, Texas, that is another theme in this Jess Gowie, that's where my eye went to when I looked at the victims. Like, this is strange. In her background, I think her background is interesting because she has an adopted brother.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, her dad divorced her, or maybe her mother divorced her dad. I don't remember, when she was very young, 3, 4, 5 years old. And they've lived apart. And it was interesting to me because when her father passed, she was not mentioned in his obituary. His daughter, who was tragically murdered not terribly long before he died, was not mentioned in his obituary. It's a little weird. But he was mentioned in hers. And sometime after, is a big age gap, but after she leaves the house, the father adopts this young boy and raises this young boy as his son. And it's just weird. I don't want to draw any too weird of a connection, but it's a very weird look.
Yeah, it's just like that thread of like military and New Braunfels, Texas, and Colorado Springs area, whatever you want to call it, which I told you Charlie's supposed to speak at the next day.
Colorado Springs is a very nice area. I love the mountains there. Got pictures of me in the mountains. Very beautiful. Smoking blunts up there.
After UVU. And I go back because, and I know people are going to shout at me because they keep telling me I have to read it. I did only read like the first 2 chapters and I was interested, but then I got distracted. But Bill Cooper had made a lot of predictions. He was supposed to be the original conspiracy theorist who, before there were any mass shootings, was speaking about the military and saying that these were going to come and that there were all of these dark military projects that were going on. And I think just on the basis of what we know, when we start to unpack our military, MK Ultra, Project Looking Glass, literally there are satanic connections in the military. Yeah. This seems self-evident to me that our military has been up to no good for a very long time. And of course, I'm talking about the top. We're obviously tons of military guys who watch this show who have nothing to do with anything. Right. It's always at the very top that things are corruptible. But when we have actual Satanists that are running psychological operations in our military, how are we supposed to feel that we're being protected when we are learning about children being trafficked onto military bases? How are we supposed to feel that our military are the good guys that are out here to, serving our country, trying to protect us, especially as our country has been largely in a steep decline?
Thank you, Skippy, for putting the Discord stuff in the chat. I really appreciate it. Much love to everybody who's in here. God bless you guys. 9 more double taps. We'll be at 100 likes. you guys for the awesome turnout today. We're running it up. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. We're on the road to 10K, man. Help me reach 10,000 subs. It's gonna be our first big milestone. Then after that, it's 50, then 100. We're gonna get that silver plaque before the end of this year. So support the channel, hit the notification bell so you can always be a part of every single live. If you want to go farther than that and you feel like I deserve a blessing from you, you can become a member or you can send through a super chat. I do have a 10 super chat goal up. Help me achieve my goal. Or if you're going to send a big amount like Chief did, he sent 40, send it through Ko-Fi so I can get the amount from, or so YouTube doesn't take the 30%. Ko-Fi only takes 5%. Thank you. I'll let this play. I got to go to the bathroom quick.
Fine.
It's hard to draw the distinction, and anytime you mention it, obviously your frontline guys get upset, and I get it. You know,
Of course, they should.
yeah, but I draw a distinction between a guy who signs up and says, "Oh, I want to serve my country. I want to make my neighborhood a better place, my state, my country a better place. I want to protect freedom. I want to advance liberty." And then when they get in the battlefield, it's all about the guys around them, and it's heroism and courage left and right all over the place. I draw a tremendous distinction between that crew and the people who ascend to the very top and have this clear satanic anti-American globalist manage the American client agenda.
Right.
And if you can mentally draw that distinction, you can begin to see the frustration from people like you, me, and many others who look out and say, why is our military flying drugs into the country?
Right.
Why is our military trafficking anything? Why aren't they just grabbing guns and going shooting bad guys? Why is harm being perpetrated on the American people?
That's exactly right. And I do draw a distinction. We know this. When institutions become large, they become corrupted. And you can talk about this even in media. You have someone like Tucker Carlson, who used to work for CNN, used to work for Fox News, and obviously went in an entirely different direction when he realized that there was something wrong with the media apparatus as a whole. This is mean that Tucker Carlson signed up for the ideas of Rupert Murdoch or anybody else? No, same for me. That's, you sign up because you believe in something, you think it's something, and then when you get up close to it, you realize, wait a second, something has made a very dramatic turn. I want you to actually watch this clip before we go to break, because there was a woman named Catherine Griggs who was married to a colonel in the Marine named George Griggs in the late 1980s. And this is about things got real weird, I would say, after they shot JFK. I think it's almost like the satanic agenda began to catalyze. Yeah. And listen to what she says about what the military is, what her husband told her the military was. Take a listen.
Your name is Catherine Pollard Griggs?
Yes.
You are the wife of Colonel George Griggs?
Yes.
11 years of marriage?
Yes.
It's true that your husband is and has been the head of special operations under Admiral Kelso, NATO?
Yes.
And it's true that you were the head of the Hospitality Committee?
Yes.
You were the member of the executive board of NATO's Wives Club?
Absolutely.
And also that your husband's background includes NATO Defense College in Rome?
Yes.
Princeton class of 1959?
Yes.
His intelligence career, his spy career began in
3 more double taps would be 100 likes, guys.
Vietnam?
Yes.
And it's also true that it continues under this day?
Absolutely, under General Wilhelm.
And that your husband was the liaison between the White House and President Jamal of Beirut, Lebanon, at the time of the bombing of the Marine barracks in Lebanon?
Yes.
And in fact, your husband was an alcoholic.
Absolutely.
And probably
Incredible.
is to this day.
Absolutely.
And during these drunken stupors, he would, so to speak, blab on and tell you everything he knew about the intelligence community.
Everything.
Nothing was hid.
No.
It was like he wanted to relieve himself and unburden his heart.
Yes.
And so he told you everything that you now know about the intelligence community and that you are talking about. And in fact, he told you that they knew the bombing was coming down in Beirut before it occurred.
Absolutely.
And also, by your association with him.
When are we going to realize the world is a stage? Everything you see is a stage. Allegedly, I'm a comedian. Everything that comes out of my mind is a figment of my imagination. I'm delirious. But everything, it's all a stage. From the top families to everything. They all stage it. Everything is known before it happens. Because there's money to be made, or there's property to be gained, or there's some other thing. There's minds to be brainwashed. It's all a stage. Duh.
You have come to understand and know, this, as shocking as this may sound to the people who are viewing this, that the United States military is literally run by sexual deviants heavy on the homosexual side.
Truly.
And that in the United States military, people like Jeffrey Dahmer and Kaczynski and McVeigh and Oswald and a host of other people who have a sexual deviant background, primarily homosexual, these individuals are actually sought out by people within the military, the Army, for advancement into intelligence type work because they are so easy to control. And they actually become mind slaves, and that the U.S. military, literally, as outrageous as it sounds, is a mind control operation.
Yes, totally now. Totally now. They've gotten rid of the good folks, like MacArthur. Got rid of them, one by one.
Good.
Totally take over.
I mean, McVeigh, Oswald. I just look at that, and that makes sense to me.
Yeah, she mentioned some big names there, and it doesn't surprise me. I mean, that someone would do a little pillow talk with their wife and spill all the secrets. That doesn't shock me, and I find her pretty believable the way she acted.
Right, and she worked for the government. I should also mention that. So this wasn't some conspiracy theorist. She's saying this is how it works. And like I say, if you even try to slightly look into the history of our military, this is what you discover. If you just like the slightest incursion into history in America, people that are developing these programs, the slightest into MK Ultra. I mean, even stories that shouldn't be running parallel to this, or stories that I'm looking into running parallel to this, they'll suddenly run into it. They'll converge, which is like the Brigitte Macron story. Right. I ended up with military, child abuse, these same exact themes on a totally unrelated story.
Thank you for 100 likes, guys. I appreciate you. Let's continue to see how many likes we can get. Keep running up those subs, guys. Let's see how far we can get to 10,000 subs. I appreciate every single one, guys.
Where I just sort of looked up and went, oh, that person does kind of look like a dude. That's funny. They're saying that in France. And here we are. And Jean-Michel Trogneux disappears after he joins the military and is stationed over in Germany. And to where he goes, we don't know. But it's very obvious to me that these sorts of people are being sought out. Like, how far will you go? How deranged are you? Are you willing to harm a child? And if so, then you sort of pledge yourself into the cult. And that's why I was saying on my show that I feel like these people are like there's a bunch of white walkers among us, people that have been harmed in their childhood or are part of this gang, and it's like they're sleepwalking through life, just taking commands from people, and they don't really have a soul.
Yeah, it's a very satanic. If you take a literal view of the demonic influence into everyday life of humanity, and I firmly believe that, you get a sense that this demonic plot works its way into public life, into government officials.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is a W conversation. Like this is a good discussion. I'm really liking this right now. I'm like the video, man. It's so right.
Into military, into the media, into academia. They are trying to control humanity. They despise humanity. They want to control humanity. They want to destroy humanity. And what better way to do it than to infiltrate a place with nukes?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's terrifying.
Well, and it's just like AJ said, they take these substances that make them have these visions. Eventually it doesn't work, so they need adrenochrome. Then they have these visions and they talk to these or these whatever they're these ghouls that tell them how to end the earth. They give them these ideas, then they blueprint these ideas on the paper, and it actually turns out to be a logical actual invention or an actual thing that can be produced. It's crazy shit when you look into it.
Because
I gotta watch what I say because I don't want to be banned.
I think to be optimistic about things, this is the first time that we've been able to have this conversation mainstream.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I would have been like, these people are completely kooky to think that this is how things run. Obviously, people are basically good. And I still believe that people are basically good, but I don't believe that governments are basically good. And I think that kind of the old guard is losing.
People can be good. You can have the whole world population be good, but it's the people who run the world that are bad that that matter. Right?
Control, and they're becoming more desperate in their control, which is now leading to more revelation about who they are. But I found, and Scott, I don't know if we
Don't blame drugs. You obviously do not know anything that goes on within the government or the higher ups or within the elites if you don't understand what I'm saying when I talk about Chrome and all this other stuff. But okay.
We have it handy. But when I was going through this story and I just kept saying, how many times can the theme of child sex trafficking come up as I'm investigating Charlie Kirk?
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense to me. Like what actually is Turning Point USA? What was the $1 million question is, yes, Bibi Netanyahu made an offer to Charlie Kirk to take Turning Point to the next level. That was told to me from Andrew Colvett, okay? Yeah. That's not some random conspiracy theorist. It's the spokesperson for Turning Point USA. Yes, that's been confirmed by somebody in, Andrew Colvett's personal orbit who said that when that happened, Andrew said he lost money. But the $1 million question is, in exchange for what? Yeah. What in exchange for what was Bibi Netanyahu going to take Turning Point USA to the next level?
And I honestly don't know the answer. Mm-hmm. I don't know the answer. I think some of the leaks inside of TPUSA, I think they know the answer. Mm-hmm. And maybe they're terrified to say it.
Yeah, well, you better bet, because Charlie was alive and now he's not.
Right.
So
exactly.
We are going to take a brief break and throw it to some sponsors. We'll be right back. All right, you guys, new research is revealing something heartbreaking. More than 7 million Americans behave like a psychopath to be a Zionist. And I do think that it makes it a lot easier for some people. I mean, I think he do some schooling in Jerusalem. Barry Weiss, I think, did some schooling in Tel Aviv. Yeah. And so you start to realize that they actually cannot have relationships. Zionists can't have any meaningful relationships with anybody, because to them, the ultimate thing is whether or not you're going to support Israel no matter what, even when they're blowing up kids. And it was a very easy moral decision for me to say, no, you can't mass murder kids. Right. And that's what I did to them. So if you actually want to know what it is that drives Zionists insane about me, it's that I've worked with all of them. I worked at Prager University. I worked at Daily Wire. I worked with Dave Rubin, actually one of the very first shows that I did. They all know me and they have nothing bad to say about me. That's what drives them crazy. I've realized this. They have nothing bad to say about me, so they have to just make stuff up, right? Marissa Straight is working on, at the Prager University, the CEO, who I was very good friends with and was close with, is working on a documentary with, I think this guy's name is literally Shabbos. I'm not Shabbos something bomb. And I know that I sound like I'm being anti-Semitic, but I swear it's like Kestenbaum or something.
You better get that name right.
No, I promise it's Shabbos. I am being so real. Yes, Shabbos, yeah. Kestenbaum. And he's going around telling everybody it's going to be a takedown of Candace Owens. And that's what her new focus is at Prager University, which is supposed to be about like educating people about free markets. Guess not. She's gone masked down. Ben Shapiro, who it's so irrelevant, doesn't even matter. But you could easily go, oh, she was mean to. No, they have no stories. I worked hard and was loyal to the companies while I was there. I was a good friend to these people. And so Dave Rubin starts his morning today choosing Zionist violence. And this just shows you how petty they are. Just to tee this up, he tweets that he was been holding on to this for a very long time. But that one time I went to his house for dinner and I told him that I hated Charlie Kirk. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, I ranted, not just about Charlie Kirk, but I also ranted about Jared and Ivanka. So the Charlie Kirk thing, I have literally no idea what he's talking about. Asked my husband, he's like, zero memory of us even discussing Charlie Kirk. On the Jared and Ivanka front, I fully remember because it was such a light joke. And, once upon a time, Dave Rubin used to try to say he was a comedian. Right. And you used to be able to tell jokes with him. And he said he had recently been to Jared and Ivanka's house because they had moved into Miami. And he asked me what I thought about Jared and Ivanka. And I gave my honest opinion. I don't know what to think of them because they're too perfect. They pretend to be friends with everybody, left and right. And when you're around them, they present very perfectly. And I was like, I just don't know what they actually think about things. Like there's the layer that you can never pierce through. He then offers a joke, which was real, that when he went to their house, he's like, it was so perfect and pristine. Then he walked in, like the child was playing like Beethoven on the piano. And it was very funny.
Right, yeah,
that was it.
Funny.
That was our conversation. I had a laugh about it. Today he's tweeting, I was ranting against Jared and Ivanka and that I hate Charlie Kirk. And he was the original person that was upset when I said genocide is always wrong. So it was like Dave Rubin replied and was like, how could you say this? How could you make this statement? And it just made me so angry because there's a lot wrong with Dave Rubin. Well,
there's a whole lot wrong with Dave Rubin. I mean, you could open that up and go for days. It's interesting to me that you are allowed to be pro-abortion or anti-abortion, and they'll accept you. I mean, they might say, I disagree with you pretty vehemently, but ultimately, as long as you vote Republican and support the top of the ticket, they're going to be fine. You can disagree on tax cuts. You can disagree on a lot of foreign policy, but you cannot disagree on the Israel issue. You just cannot. You have to be 100% in support of the secular government, whoever happens to be in control at the time, all the time, or you are cast aside and lied about. And I don't believe for a second that Dave Rubin would have sat back for years on a story like this about you if he'd have had it, if he'd have known it and not mentioned it by now. I don't buy it. It's not a believable set of circumstances. And the fact that he thinks other people will buy it shows that he knows people just hate you and will believe anything someone says negative about you.
And they're just running out of things to say.
Yeah.
That's also what it shows, is you're going to a friendly dinner where you tossed a joke about Ivanka's kids. No, I have nothing bad to say about Jared and Ivanka. Like I said to him, they've always been very nice to me. I don't know what they actually believe. Like they're just perfect and everybody is supposed to like them, but also Jared was running the White House for 4 years. I've said this stuff on my show, but to represent it and reintroduce it like it's something bad is what's wrong. And I do want to say this because then he posted a picture of me this is how nasty he's being. He posted a picture of me and him, and he says, and as long as we are doing this, here we are at Peter Thiel's house in LA. Strangely, she never mentioned to me that he was a humanoid cyborg. And so the idea here is she's trying to make it seem like I'm a fraud because I've spoken about Peter Thiel, and I don't remember what year this is. This is, I do know, remember, it was 2018, because this was the trip when I went to go see Kanye, right? I went to go see Kanye. That's why I'm wearing the same outfit from when me and Charlie are walking there. And Eric Weinstein was, I don't remember if he was brought with Kanye or what the deal was. He then...
Dude, you can't bring up a picture from fucking 2018 and like say some shit when it's like people's opinions can change and like that, but you can also wake up to people's true colors, like within a certain amount of time. Like, let alone the fact that it could have just been a business meeting or she's going there to, network. This kind of stuff happens all the time. You don't have to like the person if you're going to a meetup and you don't like the person that is there or whatever, that doesn't mean that you can't network with everybody else. Like I've been to parties, I've been to places. I don't like the fucking guy who invited me, but he invited me because he knew that people wanted to talk to me type shit. You know what I'm saying?
said, let's go to Peter Thiel's house. Okay, I don't know Peter Thiel. I literally don't know Peter Thiel. So I met him at his LA, he was having a party or whatever. It was a very unique day. I'd never met Kanye or Peter Thiel. And he's kind of presenting this like I'm being a fraud, I guess, is the vibe he's trying to put out there. So it's like, okay, fraud, let's get a couple of things straight. The real reason that I stopped being friends with Dave Rubin is a situation that made me extremely uncomfortable and made me feel that Dave Rubin was a groomer, okay? Hand to God, this happened. Hand to God. Dave Rubin hired a person who worked with me on my team, not exclusively for me, at Prager University. And that he was very young. If I had to guess, he was 18 years old, might have been 19, young, just starting, and he was ready for the next step in his career. He then decided he was going to move to Miami to work for Dave and his husband. And when Dave told me this, again, I was very green at a lot of times. If you even go back and find me, like, not really sure about my ideas about, like, gay marriage and abortion, whatever. So he says to us, oh, we were friends. We're going to, hire him. And it's so crazy. He has a really rigid Christian household and his parents are fearful for him to come work for two homosexuals in Miami. And I was like, that's so ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I had to put it on a higher playback speed for a second.
It's like, what do they think is going to happen? Fast forward, I see Dave Rubin again, hand to God. And he says to me and my husband that him and his husband, and I would tell you this kid was extremely shy, one of those kids that blushes very easily and just a shy kid, just a normal shy kid. And he said, we think he's secretly gay. And so we've been like, egging him to just experiment and to hook up with a guy or to see that's what it is. We think that that's why he's so shy. He's diagnosing this young male as suffering from repressed homosexuality because he's shy.
Right.
I don't know. Does he recognize that nobody even thinks this way? The idea of me prodding the narrative about whether or not one of my employees is a virgin, or whether they've slept with men and women, that's not normal.
That's crazy. That, what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Hollywood. That's how Hollywood is. They're trying to figure you out. So they can get you in a room so they can ditty you. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a normal thinking pattern, okay? What ends up happening is he then says that they compelled him or supported him, not compelled him, but pushed him to go on a date with a guy and to have his first kiss. Shortly thereafter, the kid quit and moved to, if I'm correct, Texas is where he moved to. And I was very happy that he did that because it was very obvious to me that they were grooming him into thinking he was a homosexual because he was just probably an inexperienced, shy kid. That's the reason I stopped being friends with Dave Rubin. I never shared that story until the audacity of this person who has told me about how he's done drugs with Peter Thiel. And also, you want to talk about being a bad friend? How about the fact, Dave Rubin, also, while we're on the topic, sorry for this rant, I gotta get this.
All these people, Peter Thiel, all these tech bros that are at the top. Have a good day, Skippy. Have a good lunch as well. Much love to you, brother. Stay safe and stay warm. Okay, I'll put it on normal speed for a second. But yeah, no, all these people, Peter Thiel, I can't think of other names, but all these people, dude, they're all on like ketamine, like all of it. Like you can see videos where they're on speaking events and they're just tweaking out. All this is alleged. I'm a comedian, but yeah, no, like they're all on substances. Sure, I mean for sure.
Kanye out that he complained he's such a cheap ass, okay, that it was one of the reasons him and Charlie had a falling out, and we'll get to that in a second. He likes to live above his means, and he told me that he needed $5 million to buy some house in some swanky neighborhood. So he went to his friend, billionaire Peter Thiel, and asked for $5 million, and they wrote it as like a bridge loan or whatever. And so he wasn't like he was gonna like have the money, but it was gonna be a bridge loan. So Peter Thiel gives him $5 million with friends like these, right? It's great. I mean, it's amazing.
Who among us?
But Peter Thiel then asked for a percentage, like, you know, yeah, I'm going to loan you this money, but if I'm going to be the Bank of Thiel, you're going to pay interest. And he was, I can't believe he's a billionaire. This would be a drop in a bucket. He could just give me the $5 million and he's going to make me pay interest. He's literally talking trash about a guy that loaned him $5 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine being in these communities and knowing these people that can just hand you $5 million. And these are the conversations you're having. You're like, yeah, dude, I just, I just need, $5 million because I want to fucking do something or this or that. Like, imagine being in these circles and how fucking crazy these people are who are like feeling like they're above the law. They're on, substances allegedly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just must be crazy. I feel bad for Candace and everything she's went through and seen.
Currently, he had loaned him $5 million. He was talking trash about him. So I just wanted to say that because that's actually what happened. That's the real reason I stopped being friends with him. And the audacity of him to then lie when he knew better than anybody how close me and Charlie were. He was there when Charlie hired me. He was there when the Kanye tweet happened because of an event that all three of us were there. He knew better than anyone that Charlie and I were friends and that we remained friends until the very end. And he's publicly lying because I won't support Israel. He wants to help them win the ghost of Charlie Kirk when the reality is Charlie's viewpoints on Israel changed. Over the last year, they had been changing because of the pressure that was coming to him by donors to control what he was saying and thinking and who he could invite to his own events.
I just want to
rant.
I just want to know how much of that $5 million he used to buy those boys that he
Seriously. And I'm such a good friend that when that whole debate was waging, I said, if I have something to say to Dave, I will just say it to Dave directly because this is their culture, the Zionist culture of flaming your friends. I mean, Megan described it with her and Ben. She said, 1 minute he's texting me saying we'll always be friends. The next I look up, he's on a stage and he's calling me out and calling me all these names. They just do this if you disagree with them about Israel. I've done nothing wrong to Dave Rubin other than disagreed with him about the topic of Israel.
Fat dab, y'all.
And if you don't believe him, he served chicken parm. For some reason that's related.
Yeah, he's my husband made her chicken parm. Yeah, it was a good. I have nothing bad to say about the chicken parm, but I have a lot bad to say about you and the way that you have treated me because I don't want to bend the knee to Bibi Netanyahu. I don't care what your family's ties are. I don't care. You guys are all they're behaving like a mafia. Like I think it is a mafia.
I think it is too. I mean, and I think that gets to the bottom of it. There's a family. It's a big, George Carlin's a big club, and you're not in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a family and we're not in it.
Right.
We're just not in it.
Yeah.
And we'll never understand it because we're not in it. We weren't born into it. We weren't asked to be a part of it. And so to the extent you are willing to hang around on the side and support it, then you're useful. And then the day you're no longer willing to support it, you're no longer useful.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's scary because you wonder about how many people, what they were actually going through. I look back at people that we thought were crazy and thanks to the bravery of Kanye, like exposing the messages with Harley Pasternak, you realize it's the same cult and they want to control you. They want to own you. They want to drive you crazy. They want everybody to end up like Britney Spears and pretending that you had some sort of a mental break, which is what I think they were trying to do with me.
I guarantee you that's what they're still trying to do with you.
Right? The way they were, someone needs to take our kids away.
Yeah.
Because they don't support Israel?
No, this is the beginning. I mean, it's going to continue against you.
I agree. It hasn't stopped. There's been a nonstop onslaught. And as we can see with the Daily Wire, it's like exactly the experience of trying to leave a cult. And speaking of that, Trump, let's get to this headline, Jerusalem Post. The World Jewish Congress President Ronald Lauder is involved in Trump's push for Greenland. Here we go. So we were all wondering, why are we talking about Greenland so much?
Yeah.
It's like, why is Greenland like so suddenly fetch?
Right.
What were your thoughts on that?
My thoughts were exactly what you just showed. If there's not some sort of financial interest for some sort of donor or some sort of supporter, Trump has not shown. It's interesting. We talk about this on the 1-year anniversary of his installation for Trump 2. I mean, people have forgotten he's been in office a year already. It's pretty shocking. But if there's not some sort of pecuniary interest for a donor or for a supporter, he has not shown a willingness to want to do it. And that is so
Sorry, guys. I had to take a fat two rips of some dabs there, bud.
different from Trump 1. I mean, Trump 1 was, you know, he did a lot of very unpopular things. He took a lot of slings and arrows. He took a lot of heat. He's not doing that this time. And as a result, you see a lot of support from people who fought Trump during the first administration. I mean, genuinely fought him, tried to put him in prison, tried to kick him out of office, tried to impeach him. And now they're sitting on the sidelines like, you know, his foreign policy is pretty good. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm like, no, this is not who we want on our team. This is not what we fought for. This is not what we went through hell for in 2016 and 2020. Not so that Trump can take Greenland for a donor.
Yeah, Trump, the first term, Trump was like this figure of, you know, money was higher, like we were making money, prices were low. We all vote for him for those reasons, and now, like, yeah, he's on his last term. It doesn't matter. He's sold out. He's doing whatever he wants to do, you know. And I feel like he is trying to do things that are geopolitically to our advantage before he leaves office, because he doesn't want to leave us in a shitty, you know, predicament. But you know, he definitely sold out to them boys and a lot of other things, you know. So very, very disappointed.
All right. What do you think is going on with Trump? Why this sudden flip from America first to a Zionist slave?
I think it could go back to Butler, Pennsylvania. I genuinely think it could go back to Butler, Pennsylvania. And I don't know if he looked death in the eye.
Dude, not only Butler, Pennsylvania, but Netanyahu literally flew into the White House and gifted Donald Trump a gold pager. And you think that that's not a threat, allegedly, right? Jesus.
Die, and it just made him think, I don't want to do this. I'm not ready to die. I don't want my kids to go through this. That's kind of the innocent explanation, in my opinion. The more sinister explanation is, hey, we fought you every step of the way. If we're going to not do that again this time, not only will we not fight you, we'll make you and your children fantastically wealthy. I mean, you are already generationally wealthy. We'll make you a king. State funeral. Everyone's going to love you. You'll be celebrated in countries all over the world as an absolute hero, unifier of all of humanity. But you got to do everything we tell you.
Right.
Absolutely everything we tell you. So it's either a fear-based motive or a pride-based motive, but it's not a best interest of the United States-based motive, in my opinion, anymore. I mean, I think that ship has sailed.
It has, and it feels almost embarrassing for all those of us who fought so hard for him. And the idea that they're going to sell to us that we have to follow him and go, oh, what do you mean? It's like, you guys infiltrated. We see that. It's so obvious. Obviously, the crowd, the populist movement is not being represented by Trump anymore. This is everyone who was a part of the Never Trump movement is now supporting Trump. I say Trump became Never Trump.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro the other day was on camera saying, oh, his foreign policy is spectacular. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm like, that's the problem. Like, I didn't vote for Ben Shapiro's foreign policy. I don't want Ben Shapiro's foreign policy. That's where I draw the line, is pretty much on foreign policy. I don't much care what you do domestically. Just don't get me involved in all these wars. And to the extent you're doing it, I'm not on board. And it's not, I don't want Trump to fail, because that means the United States fails. I don't want Trump to fail. I want Trump to be wildly successful. But I want him to be wildly successful on the principles he ran on 3 consecutive elections. And he's not doing that.
No. Yeah, you look at the other option, and that's why I've sort of removed myself from the false dialectic. Like, I'm totally
You guys, since JFK was assassinated,
done with this left.
Since JFK was done in, no one's had the best interest for the United States. Nobody.
Versus right.
He's the one that did. Look what happened.
They benefit from that. It's people that, in my honest Catholic opinion, they are Satanists that we are fighting. and they want everything. They want everything in the world. They want to enslave us, and they're against mankind. That's truly what's happening. And so if you are still having those arguments, those molecular arguments about left versus right, then you've not yet seen the big picture. And I refuse to play a part of it. I mean, this like ridiculous Tim Pool meltdown of what about the midterms? What about the midterms?
Yeah.
I'm just like, screw you and your midterms too, buddy. Okay. You're not going to get me to go back to this like opinion of, oh, I've got to fight the person on the left or the right, hence us speaking about these shootings, where I'm just going, okay, have we all been blinded by the media making us think that we have to, you know, exorcise one or the other side in order for us to have unity, when the reality is it's the power vacuum.
Well, and if you want me to vote in the midterms, I've said this very clearly on my show. You give me a Christian who pledges to place America's priorities first. You don't give me both of those, I'm not voting for you. I'm done voting for people who are not Christian or who are anti-Christian, and I'm done voting for people who are placing any interest outside the United States over the United States interest. Period. End of story. You want to win in 2026 or 2028? Give me somebody like that.
And for me, I'm making the offer. You come, you go to the podium, and you tell us exactly why you killed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
You that's what you're going to do. You're going to confess. Yeah, this is you are going to confess what you did. Stop playing us for fools. I mean, to me, there's nothing more important than the Charlie Kirk assassination, because they wanted us to see it.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to gaslight us.
Yeah.
And then say there's something wrong with you for not moving on. There was something about that assassination, even removing myself from the fact that I knew him personally, that was so na boo boo. We're so evil, you can't touch us.
Yep.
And then, hey, get back to work and vote for us.
Yep. It was ritualistic. It was ritualistic. I'm going to slaughter an innocent man in front of you, and you're going to like it, and you're going to take it, and then you're going to go back and support me again.
Yes.
And it is so devastating when that is shoved in your face. It's I'm telling you, I just draw the line here. Give me a Christian. Give me someone who places America's priority.
Especially when he's at a speaking event, prove me wrong, and gets, you know, shot in the throat. It's a pretty precise shot.
First, or I'm not on board. I am
Not saying it took a pro for all the people in the fucking chat who are gonna say it doesn't take a pro to shoot 30 minutes. I think it was the microphone, but I mean, why you think Netanyahu gifted Trump a pager? He's just like, look what we did to Charlie. Allegedly.
no longer voting for this slop. I'm done with it.
Yeah, and I will tell you, the Protestant churches, the evangelical churches, are definitely experiencing a mass exodus. That's what's being shown. I think that is a good thing, because I do believe that, and everyone's waking up to the fact that they were a part of this spell. There's this sort of Operation Mocking Pastor. They went masked down, where you suddenly realize, whoa, why are all these pastors saying the same thing? Who's actually sending them these notes? And is this a part of a psychological operation? We've got these pastors like Rob McCoy constantly trying to rehabilitate pedophiles. And then they'll look at you dead in the face and be like, hey, if you want to be saved, you just got to unfollow Tucker Carlson on Twitter. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Why are you every Sunday preaching about Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens while you're inviting all of this into the church?
Yep.
I mean, this is deep, and it gets back.
And ever since, you know, what's been going on with Turning Point, it just feels like there's so much politics mixed with religion now. Religion and politics. They're no longer separated. I don't think I'm ever voting again. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's going to take a
Back to truly the 60s. I really do believe we lost America. I mean, we were fighting for it, obviously, leading up to it. I think the Bolsheviks had infiltrated, obviously. But we were fighting for America. The day that they shot JFK, if I could go back and say, this is the moment that we lost LBJ, who was obviously a Satanist, just getting his guys in there. That's when they took over. In my opinion, they took over the military. And we've been dealing with things. And if I could put in another bookend, though, the Charlie Kirk assassination is when society woke up.
I think it's different. I had this question last night, or was it last couple nights ago on my show, whenever it was. We talked about what's different this time. What makes this a fundamentally different investigation than, you know, any of the other big things that have happened? 9/11, you know, we kind of accepted what they said. Yeah, okay, 2 big buildings fell at free fall.
What's your guys' opinion? Let me know in the chat right now. What's your guys' opinion? What makes this one different? What's your opinion on how this affected everybody? Obviously, everybody's gonna have the same answer that woke everybody up, and that it was, you know, he was a good guy, blah blah. But like, you gotta think about it. That is a good question. There's been so much stuff going on lately.
Speed.
What's
That's
different?
terrible. Let's go to war with Afghanistan. Everybody's like, yeah, let's do that. No, it took years before people stopped and said, does that really, on an engineering basis, really make sense? You know, and Oklahoma City, and we just kept going over and over and over. But all of a sudden, it was so in your face. It was so over the top. It was so satanic. It was
Well, you know what? It's because not only because of COVID and because of what they tried to make us do with COVID, but it's because of the internet and how you can just keep getting away with it and that we're stupid and this, that, and the third. But not only do we have the truth in front of us because you release documents, you declassify documents, we're on the internet, everybody can look at the truth. It's right there in front of them. But you get so cocky with how you do it in front of us and what you do that that's why you got caught and that's why this was different. There was the answer.
such a slaughter of an innocent person that people were like, no, I'm not moving on from this one. We're going to solve this one. We're staying on this one. We're forcing you to stay on this one. And by staying on it, we've discovered money issues, potentially trafficking issues, all kinds of. Here's how these satanic organizations infiltrate. You know, do-gooder organizations. I think Charlie was a do-gooder. He wanted to make the world a better place. Well, they won't let you do that. They're not going to let you get to that place without infiltrating
I had a son that passed away from SIDS. I'm not going to get into the jab on my channel because I don't want to get demonetized. But yeah, don't even get me started.
it, putting terrible people around you, like you said, deviants, awful, satanically influenced people, and then he ended up the way he did.
And then they try to turn him into a messianic figure, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what are you saying? He picked people around him that were not." Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
everybody it can fall to that. That's so obvious. Are you kidding me? Like, pick up a Bible. I mean, tale as old as time that these things can happen. That you surround yourself with people that don't have your best interests at heart. That's not a conspiracy theory. It's common sense. And yes, I knew him personally. Charlie was naive about some things, and people that I didn't trust in that organization. I had the messages to prove it. I
Not only
ranted.
that, not only that, but when you have a good heart and you want to give people a chance, and you're building a organization like TPUSA, you are getting and he employees as many employees as he did. You know, you have so many people coming in front of you saying, I want to make a change in this world. Here's my social media. Here's this is who I am. And it's just, you never know when you're infiltrated, Fuck, I don't know if my next girlfriend's going to be a fucking Mossad agent. Who knows?
Him and Tyler Boyer in a group chat. I actually read it backwards and I was like, gosh, I was really aggressive there, saying that I did not trust Schaefer Security.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have it in writing. They can tell you this was my instincts have always about people. I wasn't feeling it. I said I do not trust these people, and I
And you always trust those instincts. Every time your gut is like overwhelming you, telling you something, believe in
screamed
that.
at him and Tyler Boyer in a chat about it. And now we're here, and I'm looking into Schaefer Security and Dan Flood's origins, and everything feels very wrong about it, and truly feels like he was just being completely set up from a time that I think he was young, like going back to gate programs and where he was placed. And I call it his X-Men school, which is now called Quest Academy, and now it was previously called something else when Charlie went there. But there is an angle here where I think the military is actually seeking out gifted children and putting them through testing and seeing if they can turn them into state weapons.
Yeah.
And if they are brilliant, then they decide, hey, I actually don't want to serve the deep state. Some bad things can happen to those.
It's a little unique in America that we don't track people. That we say we don't track people, that we let people sort of choose their own destiny. I was at a wedding recently and I was talking to a girl sitting next to me. She was from Germany. And she was saying, in Germany by like age 6 or 8, they kind of tell you where you're going in life. And you follow that track. If you don't test certain levels, you're stuck on.
Sorry, I was looking something up. It's in Illinois. So this is Quest Academy. It's in Illinois. Welcome to Quest Academy, where gifted and talented children have access to an education experience like never before. A place where talented teachers guide children to satisfy their curiosity and develop strong character using innovative methods. A place where bright children are surrounded by like-minded peers who value learning and challenge new ideas. Our curriculum is dynamic and is meant to engage with bright students in meaningful content and like-minded peers. Our community is infused with opportunists or opportunities for our students to interact and apply their learning to the real world situations and make an impact. Our facilities or our faculty are quite qualified educators dedicated to providing and gifted learning experiences and challenge and inspire children through innovative tools and projects. Hey, I'm reading pretty good today, guys, even after 2 dabs. The Quest community expands outward to include parents, neighbors, and other professionals in gifted education and organizations. Join us in promoting the best in gifted education and supporting the needs of a gifted learner. Wow. I should send my daughter here to infiltrate them. That would be a good vlog, right? Infiltrating Quest Academy. So this is apparently where he went. It is in Illinois. Then he said he went to Chicago after. And you know what's crazy about what they said was what gets me on what they said was this: a place where talented teachers guide children to satisfy their curiosity and develop strong character using innovative methods. What are the innovative methods, you might ask? Well, say a child like Charlie went there and he was very like well thought out and he had thoughts and whatnot. And God damn it, hold on, you guys. So anyway, to satisfy their curiosity and development strength, whatever, using innovative methods. So say a kid like Charlie walked into the school and ended up being a very well articulated kid who had very strong beliefs in certain things already at a young age, was just very well thought out and more mature than his age, right? So they send him here. They the innovative methods are what they want to mold these kids into, right? So these kids come here and they're like, "Oh, well, you could be a speaker. You could speak about this. What do you like to speak about?" And so they make these kids all these different um I guess science projects, you know? Hmm. Sorry guys, I just wanted to check out that quest thing for a second. That was hmm. Oh my God, no. Where were we
Not
at?
some sort of pecuniary interest.
Played audio of Charlie saying that he wanted Erika to take over for him.
You play it here.
And I was curious about that because if you have the audio, shouldn't you have the video? Am I crazy for thinking should you have the video?
Well, in an AI world, can we trust that even if you had the video, because it is so contradictory to everything he said, every time they're in a room together, every podcast, when it comes up to a woman working outside the home with young kids, his basic opinion is, at all costs, please don't do it if you don't have to.
But here's what's interesting is that their story has been that if anything ever happened to him, he wanted Erika to take over. And let me tell you why that suddenly strikes me as odd. Because in that scenario, your first instinct is who's going to look after the kids.
Right.
So you're saying that what he wanted was for if anything happens to me, I want my kids to essentially become orphans because I know, I mean, Charlie knew what it took to run an organization of that size. He was constantly on the road. We saw that just when when I put together his calendar of everywhere he was, he was constantly, it's nonstop hours, nonstop flying all over the nation. So he's like, if anything happens to me, I want my children to have not just one parent lost, but two parents lost, and to essentially be raised by nannies. I'll tell you when it really struck me as odd, and I've never revealed this before. I didn't think one way or the other about this statement about Erika taking over. I thought, and I still do believe that at some point in the past, he would have said, oh, she's super smart. And he used to say, oh, she's really smart, whatever, great comments about her. But it struck me as odd because when I sat down with Erika, I had said nothing on my show about that statement. And they had prepared a response to a question that I wasn't asking, meaning that they had a physical printout of a transcript. And they said, well, this is the transcript of when Charlie said, here's what he said about wanting Erika to take over. And I sort of waved away. I was like, this isn't something that I brought up on my show.
Yeah.
I don't need proof of something that a claim that I haven't made. And then suddenly I went, wait a second, that's kind of weird that you're bringing proof for a claim that I didn't make, which means it's on your mind, not my mind. And so then I asked a little bit more about it. And I said, well, when did he say this? And they said, in August. That's kind of interesting.
Wow.
And I said, was this at Bill Ackman's house? And they said, no, it was at a donor retreat in Aspen. So I hunt down this donor retreat in Aspen and figured when it happened, and I have it on my timeline somewhere. I'll give it up. But this donor retreat in Aspen happens, and I figure out who's at this donor retreat in Aspen, and I reach out, and then they alleged that this was a question that somebody had asked and said, what happens if you die? Which is kind of a weird question. A lot of donor events, nobody's like, hey, what happens when you die? It's pretty, it's a pretty morbid thought. And then you die a month later. And I asked this person to just, hey, do you remember this happening? Person said, no. Reached out to another person that was at this Aspen event. And I said, hey, this is allegedly the event where this question was asked. And I'm now able to figure out also who the donor was that asked, by the way. I'll have that information for you guys soon. But I'd like to reach out to that donor. Do you remember Charlie saying that if anything happens to me, I want Erika to take over? I got another no. Very small group, exclusive group of donors in Aspen in August. And thus far, 2 do not remember Charlie saying that.
If you're 31 years old and someone asks you what's going to happen when you die.
When I heard him get asked that question, this was wild to me.
Those people,
like who asked that question?
Intend to harm you. I cannot look at that innocently.
To the contrary, what one person remembers, which sounds much more sensible, was that during Charlie's conversation, he's like saying how Turning Point's going to grow, and they're asking, how are you going to do all of this? Like, you're one person. And because he was kind of building a vision, which is what you do at these like donor events. It's like, here's where we are, here's what we want to do, here's what we're building out. That was Charlie. And apparently Charlie gave some total common sense answer of like, well, that's why I hire people under us to run this, and that. But nobody remembers. Thus far, I've only asked 2 people, him saying, if I die, I want Erika to take over for me.
It would have been so out of character. Because again, every public statement he's ever made, that has not been his position. Every single public statement. You go look at his personal podcast, you go look at interviews he sat in on other people's podcasts or radio shows. They talk all the time about, a woman working outside the home. He's like, hey, when they have young kids, it's just probably not the best idea, not the right time to do it. Raise your kids. It would be so out of character for him to say, yeah, I actually want her to take over my 300-day-a-year travel schedule.
And that's completely true. Well said. Anyone that's new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, show some love and support, man. We're on the road to 10,000 subs, so help me get there by hitting the subscribe with the notification bell and show some motherfucking love. Double tap that screen. If double tapping the screen doesn't work, make sure you hit the 3 dots above your head or above my head on the top right part of your screen so you can hit the like button then. If you want to go further and bless me, hit the super chat button, get your name written on the super chat wall. I do have a 10 super chat goal up of any color, so $1 and above. 25 minutes left on that. If you want to donate a big donation, go to the pinned comment, www.ko-fi.com/see me now, so YouTube doesn't take 30% of it. God bless.
And he's also, at that time, don't forget, being massively pressured by donors, right? He's being pressured and yelled at by donors. He's got, the Bill Ackman thing happened. Seth Dillon's pressuring him. He's getting people that are saying they're taking millions away from him. And his perspective was, I want my wife to endure this while my children are left absent with no parents.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying thus far, trying to confirm the story, I can't. And it's bothering me because the obvious thing is they should release the video.
Yeah, because it's like, where's her kid? Like, where's their kids at? You know what I mean? Like, the thing that he's like, dude, there was 2 kids. What, age 1 and 3? Where are they at? Who's taking care of them? She's gonna be busy at least, like, what, 15 hours a day? 16?
Because if you're not, what, you hooked him up for audio? You're just like, oh, we're just hooking you up for audio for this speech. It's like, if you got audio, you got visual. And I'm told that there was audio and visual at that event in the Hamptons.
Well, I'll say this. I don't believe audio and visual anymore. I need someone in the room to confirm it happened.
Yeah.
I just, the AI revolution, I see videos of me people put up and say, oh, I'm like, I didn't say that. That's not me.
Yeah.
And it's usually humorous. It's funny. But somebody would look at that and say,
Candace.
oh, Baron Coleman said this.
Kansas.
I'm like, no, I actually never said that.
I'm going to keep going through people at this event and seeing if someone will confirm that on record. But I do think it would be incumbent upon them to release it. It could have happened.
Was it raised in New York at the Hamptons retreat?
It was,
Okay.
I was told by Erika, it was Aspen.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I was under the impression what happens when you die question was out of the Hamptons.
Yeah, because people knew it was August. And so nobody actually knew that there was this donor event that happened in Aspen and I can actually tell you the dates of it if you
That actually makes a lot of sense because you hear, hey, a bunch of donors.
Hey, dude, you know what would be awesome is if they did more.
What's that?
If they did more streams like this, where they're both using their minds to think, like that'd be awesome to watch.
In
Sky,
August.
what? August 15th to 17th.
Yeah,
So less than a month before he died.
I mean, 3 weeks.
Yeah. Don't know
If
what
I'm
to
the
say.
FBI, I want to know who asked him what would happen when he dies. Because, again, you don't ask healthy 31-year-olds what's going to happen when they die. That's a weird question to ask a 31-year-old. 31-year-olds don't drop dead. They just don't.
And where he's doing, military training with Mikey, he's like, if anything happens, just go, walk, run. They were doing doing rehearsals.
Talking about the
They
amazing.
were running drills.
And you know what
Charlie
it
was like, 1, 2, 3, go, go. And Mikey was like, just practicing.
Yeah.
Totally. This is exactly. It just gets longer and longer. There should just be a book called Everything That Charlie Did.
Yeah, they definitely are having it. Yeah, they're having a good conversation. I'm enjoying it very much too. And I think that them putting their minds together would be a pretty good show.
Definitely for sure wanted and asked for.
Yeah.
In the event of this tragic never happened before assassination. And it is, I do not like the fact that we are being told that we have to believe, first they were going to say I was a liar, then they had to confirm that it was true, that Charlie messaged not only Andrew Colbert, but Dan Flood the night before and said that he was worried he was going to be assassinated. But shouldn't he have also, would he have not confided that to his wife? She didn't know, she had his phone. Okay, let's say that's true. Maybe you don't want your wife to carry that burden, that you have those fears, and you would rather prefer to say that to security and PR. But even if that is true, you're telling me that after his assassination, Andrew Colbert didn't tell Erika?
Right. Well, and there's so many weird things about that.
Dan Flood didn't tell her, hey, this has happened. He just texted me. She heard that for the first time when I said it?
Right. Well, she also had custody of the necklace that he never took off, and that she was crazy to try to find immediately in the aftermath. There's so many weird things about Erika and the 24 to 48 hours leading up to it and the 24 to 48 hours immediately after it that, somebody asked me yesterday if you could.
I'm telling you, Charlie didn't take that money at the Hamptons, and the phone went, and Miss Erika Kirk picked it up and said, "Yes, sir," because her father and her mom are so closely tied to them boys that she said, "Yes, sir. Let's execute the plan, and I'll do what you want me to do, sir." Boom. All alleged, figment of my imagination. Nothing I say is true.
Could answer one question about the assassination, what would it be? And my answer, what did Erika know? Did she know he was going to die the next day? Because I think the answer to that question is yes. In my opinion, I think the answer is yes.
number one question.
And you guys are double tapping that screen, man. Let's try and get those likes up. I don't know what we're at right now. We are at 109 likes, guys. Double tap that screen. If the double tap doesn't work, 3 dots above my head and click the like that way. Let's try and hit 200 likes today before I get off, guys. I'm gonna get off in probably about a half hour, 45 minutes. Depends how much more we run this up, how much more we go. I appreciate everybody for being here today and being awesome, man. Thank you guys for sticking with me.
Now that I have, I wouldn't say number one, but it's up there, is that story about the Jezebel person who wrote the article, had never written an article, and we're told like that Charlie was so worried and the priests came over. This is what was told to Megyn Kelly. I believe Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
She's a pretty straight shooter. And that the priest came over to pray 48 hours before to pray about this Jezebel article. That's new to me because the Charlie that I know, I mean, the amount of articles and witches and things that people were writing at all times, had a pretty good sense of humor about the left writing articles. And the priest coming over to pray about an article is now interesting to me. I'm going, okay, that's very interesting. And I'll tell you the biggest thing, which I haven't shared, but I'm going to do it before we go to sponsors. Probably shouldn't, but
no, come on.
I'm feeling a little punchy today because they're just.
That's why I like these guys talking together like they are right now, because it's like I feel like they bring out the best in each other.
They're just getting me mad now, right? They're just getting me mad with all these attacks, nonstop attacking me for telling the truth.
Hey, we like when they make you mad because we learn more.
Yeah, but the number one thing that I think about, this is actually number one. Andrew Colvett, because I had no idea that he would be engaged in this cover-up.
Yeah, it says we're at 111. There's 200 of y'all in here, man. Double tap that screen. Hit the top right 3 dots. Hit the like button. Support your boy, man. Support your boy, man. I'm up here in North Dakota in negative 16-degree weather. What you expect, man? Support your boy, man. Goddamn, man. Hit the subscribe button with the notification bell.
Been lying after Charlie's assassination. And I obviously was like openly crying on the phone with him in the aftermath. And he painted a vivid picture for me in that immediate 48 hours. We were on the phone.
Wait,
And I have to be one. Andrew Colvett, because I had no idea that he would be engaged in this cover-up and lying after Charlie's assassination. And I obviously was like openly crying on the phone with him in the aftermath. And he painted a vivid picture for me in that immediate 48 hours. We were on the phone. And he told me about how when he flew, while he was on the plane flying, he had so much anxiety and it was pent up because, like, you know, everyone was messaging him while he's on the plane, and, you know, he doesn't.
You know, not to interrupt this, but, you know, that's how they put the whole, that's how you can put the whole, well, Charlie was in bad standing with Candace since 2019. Why is she continuously having phone calls with Andrew Colvett and other people from TPUSA then?
Doesn't know whether or not, you know, Charlie was okay or whatever. And then he said that anxiety, he said, as soon as the plane landed, I got off of the plane and ran into Erika's arms on the tarmac and boo-hoo cried. He said, like, basically, like, you know, like fell into her arms and cried because he was had so much anxiety. Their planes landed an hour apart. So I just thought it was interesting that she waited to go to the hospital, because I mean, who could say I actually can.
I've just had this feeling in my heart or in my stomach, okay, that Andrew Colvett and Kirk may have a thing. Because he sure is involved with a lot of stuff. Because it seems like Erika Kirk, like, because during the meeting with Candace Owens, when she said, Erika Kirk said, well, I didn't know Andrew Colvett said that Charlie said that the night before he passed away, that he felt like he was going to die. I feel like Erika Kirk was having an affair with Andrew Colvett, allegedly, at figments of my imagination. But, like, he's just involved with everything. I feel like she was telling him things and he just couldn't keep his fucking mouth shut. And, you know, so I don't know. This is all alleged. I'm a comedian, figments of my imagination. I'm off my meds, whatever. But yeah, that's just, I don't know, something's up.
I think we can say what we would do. We'd probably go right to the hospital. And, you know, she did tell me that she found out Charlie was dead before they took off in Arizona. And I think about that a lot. Like, why wait an hour on the tarmac And then, despite waiting for him to land, they then went into different entries into the hospital. Erika went through the back and Andrew went through the front. So there's a lot there that doesn't make sense to me. But the hour waiting on the tarmac bothers me because you are with other people. You should get to the hospital as fast as possible. And why are we waiting for Andrew Colvett?
I really got to sit with that. That's such.
I've been sitting with it for 3 months, and this does feel like therapy that I finally got this off.
I mean, that sounds
4 months.
I need to go back and pull those plane records. His
I
and
have
hers.
them.
Yeah, and just look at the exact time. You can also look on the
Skylar
maps.
can probably pull it up. We have a whole document on the plane records.
And I don't know if you have Flight Radar 24,
that I was
but
going insane about the plane
you
records.
can see where the plane actually taxied to after landing, whether it went back to the FBO in the back or whether it was more in the public.
Yeah.
Public.
He landed a lot later.
That is
more than an
bizarre.
hour if I'm remembering correctly. So that's something that I need to get off my
Golly,
chest.
I wish they
While
made
we
you
try to
mad.
pull that up, we will throw it to sponsors. All right. Maybe you owe back taxes or you've not filed taxes in years. Well, now is the perfect time to resolve your tax matters with the bit of a bomb drop there.
Yeah. A little bit.
I had to let it out. I don't know. I blame Dave Rubin. He pissed me off today. I'm just tired of all of their attacks for me telling the truth. It's so unfair.
I'm sure she is, Skippy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I hope you had a good lunch, buddy. I'm not gonna lie, but man, she's under a lot of pressure, bro. And people can act strong on camera because it's easy for an hour. Like she does like an hour-long stream. But it's like once that camera's off, it's like, how are you handling it then?
In life to be a good person,
right,
and to be a forthright person and to be an honest person and just to be attacked all the time nonstop with news stories being concocted out of thin air, like light conversations. Oh, it's a rant. It's gets to a point where you're going, okay, you guys are terrible human beings and we now need to figure out why. Anyways, getting into this plane situation, and I haven't looked at this.
Guys, we just need 37 more double taps to be at 150 likes, man. Help me get to 150, y'all.
Particular one in a while, but these are our general planes that came in to Provo. That first one came in at 8 a.m. I was able to figure out this is the one that came in at 8 a.m., goes to Provo, then it flies straight to Santa Barbara,
garlic parmesan,
landing into Santa.
Garlic Parmesan wings sound so gas right now, dude. Shut up.
Figure out why. Anyways, getting into this plane situation, and I haven't looked at this particular one in a while, but these are our general planes that came in to Provo. That first one came in at 8 a.m. I was able to figure out this is the one that came in at 8 a.m., goes to Provo, then it flies straight to Santa Barbara, landing into Santa Barbara. This is all local time, by the way, at 11:12 a.m. And then it goes into Scottsdale. I was able to determine that that's the Y-Refi guy. So, which could make sense. That's what I was told. I should say. I shouldn't say I was able to determine. I should say that's what I was told. Okay, I feel like that's better. The N1, let's go to that third one, N102DZ, one that we're seeing that's Erika's plane, obviously. That's the big plane that then scrambled, which makes sense. You would scramble, and they got that. And we know that there's a priest on there. Erika Kirk is on there. Tyler Boyer's on there. Elizabeth McCoy is on there. And then leaving at 2:19 p.m. So yeah, it's an hour and 5 minutes, and arriving into Provo at 4:36 p.m. So those two planes you can see right there. I'm told that Andrew was on that plane, and it created a bit of a discrepancy for me, only because in the way that Andrew told me the story about the anxiety pent up and nowhere to go, I got the impression that he flew alone. And then I was told that he actually flew with his wife. And I thought, okay, that's interesting.
Why would he have so much? Why would he have so much anxiety, though? Like, what would be making you have anxiety?
Because he made it sound like he was alone. That was the whole point. Like he had nothing to do, nowhere to go with this anxiety and everyone texting him. And that's why when he got off the plane and he saw Erika, he boohoo cried and and whatever. And the reason why I think that there's something wrong with the story is because when I said this, I brought this up to Erika and Justin Strife. I said, I'd like to know who was on these planes. And I said, because I was trying to figure out in my head, I didn't tell them about that Andrew told me about the hug. I held that back. And I said, did Andrew fly with his wife or not? Because he told me a story about how he had pent up anxiety. And I'm just trying to figure out if he flew with his wife, because why did he have all this pent up anxiety if his wife's on the plane, or did he just not like acknowledge his wife or something? And Erika sat quietly, like she didn't know the answer to whether or not he flew with his wife. But if Andrew's story is he got off of the plane and boohoo cried, surely she would have seen his wife.
Right.
He was alone on the plane without his wife because him and Erika were. What's that saying called? Hanky panky.
And so Justin Strife then said to me, I'll get back to you and I'll find out if Andrew flew with his wife. And he did. He got back to me and said, yes, Andrew flew with his wife. Okay, why did anybody have to get back to me? Erika, and it was something that bothered me. I was like, well, Erika should have been able to say, yeah, he flew with his wife and they both got off of the plane because I was waiting for them on the tarmac. So we are constantly in this bind between Andrew's stories and Erika's stories. And if I'm being honest, I think Andrew has been telling what he's supposed to be telling the public, because that's what a spokesperson does.
Right.
And I was also holding back out of wanting to believe that this was just a high stress situation and people needed time to adjust. But there were a lot of little lies like that, these are not little lies.
That's huge.
These are big lies.
Yeah.
You should have told me that his wife got off the plane. I don't know if his wife was.
Dude, the fact that Erika Kirk's plane landed, and if she waited an hour for him, Andrew Cole there. What? Yeah, the whole wife thing is crazy. Why are you not going right to the fucking hospital? Like, I'm sorry, but this whole thing just got me feeling like I just want to wreck my whole fucking setup because it's so fucking stinky, bro.
On the plane. I don't know where Andrew was or which plane he was really on, but there had the story with the surgeon, as I revealed, and Andrew tweeting that, and Erika told me to my face that Andrew went rogue, and I never trusted that because of HIPAA. Like,
Right.
You can say Andrew went rogue, but you're not going to convince me a seasoned surgeon who trained in an Air Force base went rogue.
Right.
And just opened up to a PR agent during the highest profile political assassination. And when my source told me that Erika was on the phone and that the quotation came from Erika.
Dude, who are these sources? Like, I would just love to know who the fuck these sources are. Like, Candace keeps saying, my source told me this. My source told me this from how many sources do you fucking have and in how many situations? Like, seriously, right? Like, what? Like, my source told me on this phone call. My source told me in this meeting room. Okay, well, okay, what the fuck, you know? Appreciate y'all for liking the stream, man. We're on the road to 10K subs. Keep hitting that subscribe button with the notification bell. I want to see all your beautiful faces in here every single day. God bless you guys. Hope you guys are having a good week. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, get those likes up. I appreciate the 120 likes, man. Let's try and hit 150. Shit, maybe even 200. God bless.
And, I felt bad because
Universe bless.
they said it was like, she just was like, oh, maybe he had a steel neck, wife maybe trying to make sense, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But it's a weird thing to lie to me about to my face. Right? That story that the person close to the surgeon told me, that makes sense. Like, a wife, and they did this because they panicked about my episode, and then they call the surgeon, and it's like, well, why didn't it go through? And the surgeon said, I don't know. If you're telling me it was a 30-06, I don't know why it didn't go through.
Yeah, it is becoming increasingly obvious that whether or not this is the truth, it's becoming increasingly obvious people are not believing he was shot anymore, or not shot with a 30-06 from the Losi Center. The public isn't buying it. They're just not buying it. And
He wasn't
the
shot at all.
more the public belief in that official narrative erodes, the more panicked they're getting. Because I think the answer is going to point back to who actually did it. And it's just terrifying to them. So, we stay on the case and we keep applying pressure, and they keep making mistakes. And as they do, we will continue to pick up those mistakes and evaluate them and let people know what those mistakes mean.
Yep. All right, I'm going to shift gears here and get to some of our comments and what people are thinking. I definitely have said a lot today. This is what happens when you guys just wake up and choose violence and lie about me when I have been so good to all of you, everybody across the board, Turning Point USA, Daily Wire, Dave Rubin, Prager University. I think I accidentally X'd out of our doc, so let me just reopen that we're on 293 here. Okay, we have our top comment from yesterday. We were speaking about the American Cancer Society, which seems the person who gave me that tip about Dan Flood and said that he...
Bro, that dab did not seem like it was going to... That's what I hate about dabs, is it did not seem like it was going to be as big as it was, bro. I had to mute the mic and everything because I thought I freaking passed away right in front of you guys. Oh, God damn, bro. Holy, and not only that, but I messed up and I heated it up way too much, bro. Oh, that was rough, bro. You want to know what made me want to take that big rip? It was the PTSD of the mouse falling in front of me, guys. The mouse falling from the ceiling. I'm just getting anxiety looking up here where it randomly spawned, you know? I'm just getting anxiety. It had to happen. Sorry, guys. Oh, God. Well, I think I'm done dabbing.
Ran with these people said that money is being funneled, that it's just a money laundering operation to pay off dirty cops through the cattle baron's ball, if you will. And they claim that money is going to the American Cancer Society. Maybe someone should investigate that. And this top comment says pretty much all of the fundraising for the American Cancer Society is bogus. They are not looking for a cure.
I can't say it because I'm going to get banned off YouTube if I say it, but there's already a cure, bro. People yeah.
Could be something there. These charities are starting to look a little funky. I will say that, allegedly. Jay-Z writes, when you crack this, Candace, it's going to be so sweet, sad, but also sweet. Praying for your safety every day. Sending love from Australia. I hope that you will be allowed to visit us one day. I hope so as well. Tracy writes, this is my version of a Super Bowl. Been waiting for this collaboration. God bless you both. We can do this all the time. We actually live near each other. Yeah. Which is amazing. It's just gonna be me, you, and Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, your folks were like, did you fly in? I'm like, no, I drove over.
It's just amazing.
Took about 20 minutes.
Just all of us.
Pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
Just gonna be hanging out.
Yeah. What a dude. Her, him, Theo Vaughn. Yep. That'd make a dope podcast.
Growing out over here in Nashville, Tennessee. Monica writes, I hope you both know that every time the truth teams up, the lights turn up on the devil. Turn up the lights to max power. Christ is king. Totally agree with that. And it does feel like we're winning. It's dangerous but the way these demons are squealing and everyone just gets exposed. I mean, as a Dave Rubin say, it's like, okay, how about some light on you, bro, and the stuff that you've been up to? Because I'm not up to anything. This person writes, I am not Joe. Best duo ever. Keep the clips running. Candace, and make sure you spell Baron with one R. Love you both. Okay, so if you guys are not in on this inside joke, it is exceptional. The only way to describe it is Baron Coleman crashed out. He was speaking to a commenter about Mitch Snow, and this is when they were running.
Oh, God, I can already tell I'm going to laugh
Running Operation Debunk Mitch. And they were basically being like, you can't even prod the narrative on Fort Huachuca because Mitch's baby mama from 20 years ago has something to say. And so they were trying to put pressure on Barron to stop speaking about it. And this person on his show, he just came in and was like, how dare you speak about Mitch when we now know that he's up to no good 20 years ago. And Barron fully loses his cool and just goes on about Joe and what just makes for exceptional YouTube content. Let's just watch Baron Colden crash out on Joe. It's fantastic.
Oh, God. This is what I would do. Like, you guys know I crash out all the time. I try not to. That's why I say, hey, man, super chat so I can read your chats, because I crash out quite a bit on this channel. We that shit.
I'll pull this up because you get the hell out of here. Leave, John.
Okay, hold on. Playback speed is normal? Oh, they're gonna have to fix this.
Joe, whatever, get out of here. Go home. Here's the problem with people like you, Joe. I haven't defended a damn thing. I haven't defended a single thing of you. All I said is he was at the base, Joe. You are everything that's wrong with this country, Joe. Everything that's wrong with it can be summed up in that sentence right there. I'm not defending anybody. And if you're too to understand it, Joe,
It's
get the hell
so
out of the
funny.
audience. You're not smart enough to watch this show. You're not smart enough to watch it, Joe. I don't want stupid people in the audience. So if you're that stupid, get some high IQ out there.
So good.
I'm not defending anybody. What I'm saying is, Joe, it's possible you can be a bad guy and also identify Brian Harpo. Those two things are possible, Joe.
I'm so over it, bro. That's funny.
Get out of here.
I felt
You
this
people
in
make me
my
sick.
soul.
This is the sum total of everything that's wrong with you guys. See?
It's just so good. And
So-
then you proceed to pull up. I thought we had it. Then he pulls up a class that Joe can
Yeah.
take to learn about logic and
Yeah.
reasoning and how A doesn't equal B and how B doesn't equal C. And then you find a YouTube channel.
Yep.
Classes for free for her at Stanford. It is. Oh, please continue this part. It's so good. I love the Joe crash out. It was so
Joe,
great.
here's the problem with people like you. Joe, this is the problem with people like you. This is why your low
You
IQ
can
is not low
skip
IQ.
past.
Joe, I've never said a thing that's offended.
There,
me
here you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
when
we
it comes
got
to
that.
domestic violence or anything like that. But Candace just went through all the steps she took to verify parts of his story. In other words, was he at the base? Well, she verified he was. She had the police report. His son later confirmed the police report was accurate. So that's number one. Two, what about the building he said they used? Was that really the building they used? She calls someone at the base and they say, yeah. In fact, they do use that building and they black out the windows and it's set up as sort of a secure facility. Oh, well, what about this? What about every single step of the way, she's able to verify, Joe, what's happening. Now, that doesn't mean that we then take that and say, oh, well, it was verified he was at the base. That
like, for
means
less than $10,
he never
you
abused
should
a
not
woman.
be
No, Joe,
stupid.
that's a position. That's dumb. That's for stupid people. That's for low IQ people. We don't have that here. We don't allow that in our audience. So you have to go.
You have to go.
That's not logic, Joe. That's not how logic works. In fact, if you want to step up your game in society and be a more productive member of society, you can subscribe to any number of logic programs. You can order a logic class. You can sign up and say, I'd like to take a logic class because I'm stupid. You can do that, Joe. You are more than welcome to do that. You can go, Joe, and say, I'm sorry, I am so low IQ, I'm so stupid, I'm unable to contribute in an adult conversation online. You think there's a logic class at this local college I could take? Maybe an introductory class, a philosophy class, perhaps. That'll help me learn how to think. That'll teach me that if I'm defending somebody on topic A, that doesn't mean I'm defending them on topic B. Do you have a class like that I could take? Joe, I bet they do. And if they don't, I bet you could find one online. In fact, I could probably look for one for you, Joe. I could probably find a nice introduction to logic class that you can take, Joe. Oh my goodness, I didn't know.
Bro, this guy, I don't know if I crash out this hard. This guy's crashing out, bro.
Joe, this is the class for you. You have no idea what you just walked into. Look at this. You can buy this book right here. Master Books Homeschool Curriculum.
I bought
Introduction to
that book.
Logic. It's a whole curriculum pack, Joe. You can get Introduction to
that
Logic by
one right
Irving M. Koppel. It's a Macmillan hardcover book. They have it for $7.09. Joe, for under $10, you cannot be stupid. You can learn how to think. Now, it's a 5th edition Master Reasoning Logical Logic.
$10, you could not be
Now, this is
stupid.
almost $30, Joe. That might be above your pay grade. Look, Stanford University. That's a respectable university. They have it. It's free. Joe, we wouldn't even buy you anything more. It's free. They got a whole page. Joe, there's no reason for you to be like this, Joe. This is free. This is absolutely free. You don't have to pay for
That
it.
is fucking
I bet there's
funny,
YouTube
dude.
videos. We could probably find a YouTube video. A whole introduction to logic YouTube. I bet they have one. You can learn to not be like you are, Joe. Unbelievable, Joe.
That is my favorite sentence we come out of this. You can learn to not be like you are, Joe.
That's right.
That is just, that crash out was the greatest thing on YouTube. I was like, you know what? Thank you. Yes, this is speaking to my soul. Everyone's attacking us. No one is attacking the substance of the debate. No one is saying, oh, was he at Fort Watching? They just were like suddenly turning into Jerry Springer from 20 years ago and being like, how dare you discuss what he told you as intel? And that tears were in my eyes, laughing, hilarious. So that is the inside joke of Don't Be a Joe. And Joe got what she paid for. She learned a lot, I think, watching that. I don't think sadly, I don't believe that she watches your channel anymore.
Well,
but if she
she's
comes back
welcome
from
to.
class, she probably can.
It's a high IQ outfit, Joe. If you gotta step up your game if you're gonna join us.
Yeah, right. That is facts. All right, guys. I suppose I'm gonna get off. My kids get out of school here early, and I got some stuff to do. As you guys know, I got to adult. So sorry for the technical difficulties this morning. That was a little rough. You feel me? Not gonna lie. Both MacBooks didn't work with Streamlabs. Had to pull out the old reliable. Get up on here, but it turned out great, man. We ran it up today. I appreciate everybody who showed up and who continues to show up. All the new people who come in here and everything. Thank you guys so much for making it the best community. God bless y'all. So close to 10K. We're 250 subs away from 10K. That's crazy. We're gonna get there. It's gonna happen. We're gonna get to 100. It's gonna be wild. But I gotta get off, y'all. I gotta get my kids in a little bit. I appreciate every single person again, man. Thank you all for the donation. Thank you to Chief for the 40. to Ko-Fi, by the way, got your name up there again. And thank you, Tanya, for the 10 as well earlier. And then, sorry, I'll make sure I get the donors here. The Chandler Matthews for the 199. Shout out to the Pyrotechnics crew. Yeah, I remember that. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, man, that last rip got me ripped. So I'm gonna go get some laundry done, get my kids here in a little bit. I appreciate every single one of y'all for being here. God bless you guys. All the newcomers, welcome to the family. We're gonna get to 10K before the end of the month, man. I can just feel it. Hopefully 100K by the end of the year. I got